Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How are you so far? How is your Monday morning going? Hopefully, very well. I hope you all are doing wonderful this morning. I hope you guys got your coffee. Good morning. Good morning, Ashley. Big hugs back to you, princess. Oh, I'm going to say beautiful. We can't call you princess. So, good morning. It is cold outside. It's cold, cold, cold. So what'd you guys do yesterday? What was your Sunday? What'd you do on Sunday? Good morning, Maddie. Panel. Oh, I am going to do panel. Yes, ma'am, because we got some things to talk about this morning. Yes, yes, yes. Maddie, by the way, I want you to know that I miss you and I love you. Just want you to know that before you take off on me. There you are. There you are. I know, you guys, I'm being quiet for some reason right now. I don't know. My brain's overloaded. I have so much to do this week. Ugh.
You timed going live perfectly because we had just gotten up and just gotten the coffee and got sat back down, and then you popped up going live. It was perfectly timed.
Yeah, well, I figured, this would probably be a good time because some people, when they do their lives, they do it like way early or really way late. So I'm
Right.
thinking, you know what? 11's a perfect time. I got my stuff done this morning, got my dishes done. My dogs have been tended to. They're full of piss and vinegar this morning. So I may have to take a small break just to walk in there and make sure they're not getting into anything.
Right.
So, yeah, the boxers are on it today. Well, unfortunately, my neighbors can't seem to keep their dogs contained. They have this cute little black and white pit puppy. And this is a puppy, mind you. It couldn't be more than 5 months old. That's going to end up getting killed out here, unfortunately, because they let it run loose and it's going to get hit by
Mhm.
a car out here.
Yeah, that's exactly how I ended up with my pit bull because when we were in Slayton, the people that had her before we did, they let her as a, like maybe month old puppy, if that. They were letting her run around outside, like in the streets and stuff. Cars were having to like stop for her. And I'm like, one of these days there's going to be a car that doesn't stop for her. And then on top of that, she was
Exactly.
completely covered in like fleas. It's to the point where they had like eaten away like where her fur was or was supposed to be, and she looked terrible. She looked like they were using her as like one of them they call it a bait dog when they want to do fighting
Yep.
dogs. That's what they looked
Yep.
like. They were, she kind of appeared to be that way, like they were using her for that. And so I took her in, and like knowing what was happening with her, I took her in and I bathed her and everything. And after I started getting her looking better, I was like, I am so sorry to do this. And I said, God forgive me for it, but I'm not taking her back, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you
That's
at
how I ended
all.
up with her.
At
I ended up
all.
taking her from them. So, and I mean, normally I would never do something
I
like
think
that, but in that situation,
right.
she was not being treated properly. And I was like, she's going to end up dead regardless. Either it's going to be by them or by someone that hits her on the
Right.
road. So I'm taking her,
Well, and we had seen her, and
Exactly.
then right around the corner from us was a gas station. Like literally, like you go down the street and around the corner, and there's a gas station. And we were up there because they have these amazing spicy chicken sandwiches for a gas station.
Oh, they were delicious.
And we were up there, and I'm
They're only
standing,
59 cents too.
yeah, and I'm standing
Ooh.
outside
You can't
with
buy
Yeah,
anything for
the
59 cents more.
exactly. It was a little gas station
Sorry.
called Chillers, and they had a big old sandwich. It was a big old spicy chicken sandwich for only 59 cents. I was like, for as good as that is, you cannot beat that. Sorry, babe.
no, I was just standing
Yeah.
outside while she was in there getting the food. And these little kids came up and they were like, "Do you know whose dog this is?" And
Yep.
I said, "Yeah, because it's literally the person diagonal from our house." We had seen it, and she was only, I would say, not even 6 weeks. You could tell she just say basically got separated from her mom when they
Yeah.
probably got her.
Yeah. Very little.
And
Yeah.
I, I grabbed her. I said, "Yeah, I know where she goes." And I held her there, and Ashley seen her, and she started shaking her head. Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And she come outside, and we went back to the house, and we were looking at her as I was holding her. She was just covered in fleas. Ashley had to wash her 3 different times before finally we weren't
Wow.
seeing fleas, or the sink wasn't full of fleas.
And the first time that I washed
Right.
her, like the first bath I gave her, the sink literally turned black with fleas. That's how many she had on her. And this is a little bitty
Mm.
puppy that was being eaten by him. And I
Probably
was like,
between probably between the fleas and the blood,
yeah.
you know?
And
This is
that's
horrible.
that's when I looked at Earl and I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm not this person. I said, but today I am. I said, I'm not returning her to her owners. I'm not, because they're not treating her right. I said, I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I would
Right.
have taken her back. So
Well, and I've
I,
Right.
always,
I guess that would be one time where, I took a dog, but she was in a bad
Right.
situation and I wasn't willing to
Blame
put her back in that situation.
but I've
exactly.
always,
I don't blame you one bit.
I've always had pit bulls just say rescued them just because I don't like how they get the bad name because it's all on how they're raised. That's
Yeah.
it. Any dog,
Exactly.
you have to be more worried about small dogs than you do big dogs. Because them
Yeah.
small dogs will actually
You
fight you
got
to
that
where a big
right.
dog will just stand there and growl at you and say, basically warn you, hey, I will hurt you
Right.
if you continue, but a little dog
Yep.
will just bite the shit out of you and ain't gonna ask again.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
tell
I've got
you
a,
what, you can ask Maddie back when she was younger. It wasn't too long ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago. We had Pekingeses. And talking about being temperamental, the kids could not run through the house or these dogs were nipping at the back of their calves. They
oh,
can go
yeah.
higher than ankles because they're not
Yep.
chihuahuas.
Yep.
But they can't really get a good bite as well though because their faces are so smashed in.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, these dogs would not. I had to keep the dogs in the house they stayed in the house anyway. But if the kids were outside playing, I couldn't let them dogs go out and play with them because when the kids were running, these dogs were biting.
Right.
And
See,
I'm
and
like, no, I can't have that.
yeah, that's like the temperament of a Pekingese. Because we had one when I was in Ohio for 4 years. My grandparents that were up there, they had one, and she was the exact same way. She was named Princess, but she acted like anything but a princess. Because like we'd
Yes.
go we'd go running around and she would immediately come chasing after us. And like, it's like you said, she couldn't like really bite because of just how her face was, but she would definitely like try. She would definitely chase you down and like try to like
Yeah.
nip at your calves and stuff like that. And when we'd go outside, they'd do the
Yep.
exact same thing. They'd leave her inside. That way we wouldn't have to worry about getting chased by her outside.
Yeah, we had a
Yep.
blue
We
healer
had
that way.
one that way too, a blue healer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had one that just her name was Missy, and she was what they call a sleeve Pekingese, which is the smaller. They actually originated in China and was brought over here when the
Yep.
emperor would uh, get ready to come out. He would drop his sleeves, and these Pekingeses would come out and basically like introduce the emperor. And
Yep.
it was actually a law out there that if you hurt or killed one of these dogs, you could be put to death.
Yeah.
These dogs were very well protected by the emperors or the
Like
emperor
Yeah.
out there.
And see, that's something that like that. Well, I had become a groomer for a long time. I went say and did all the schooling and everything for it, so I could groom dogs, which kind of is what led to me taking my pit bull when I seen her in that condition, also. But like because I knew what condition they
Right.
had put her in, and just hearing like knowing all the stories and stuff like that about like where the breeds come from and like where they actually originate from, what they were bred for originally, all that stuff. It's crazy to find out that some of these breeds are very protected in their countries that they come from, and the Pekingese is one of
Yep.
them.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's like
But
Boston
we had
Terrier.
some beautiful, and I
Do
love
what?
them to death. And me and my husband, I've said I've had some beautiful Pekingeses. But I'll tell
Yeah,
you
they are.
what,
They're very
uh,
pretty.
we we lost our last one about 6 years ago. Her name was Jay. She was a
Oh,
rescue. She hated men and she hated
oh,
cigarettes. And I believe that she was abused by a man in cigarettes. That's why she did not, if you had a cigarette in your hand, she would not come nowhere near you.
you know what? That's very
And
possible because I had a Chihuahua that I rescued. That she was an applehead Chihuahua, and I had
uh-huh,
her till she was 16, and she passed away. And she was afraid of being in a brick house. Like you could not have her in a brick home because
right,
what the person that had her before did to her. It was a man, and what he had done to her was he threw her against this brick house, against like the brick wall of the house.
right,
And he did it so hard that he ended up breaking her sternum to where when I got her, her sternum was protruding to where like the rest of her life, if you
is
go to pet her stomach, you could feel her sternum sticking out from what he had done. And she was scared
right,
of brick
right.
walls from that. And that sounds crazy, that a dog would be scared of a certain type of wall, but she knew.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
They have ways of
And
letting us
the
know
thing,
what's happened to them before we get them.
yeah, and I really believe, well, when I first got her, I got her and another one, two little girls, Jay and Missy. Um, when I got her home and I gave Jay a bath, she looked like she was a really light fawn with darker fawn spots on her. When I got her home and gave her a bath, matter of fact, I gave her multiple baths. She turned out to be white with light fawn spots.
Oh, wow.
She was actually a white dog.
Oh, my
And
God.
she was the most beautiful thing. And she was just nothing but a little love bug. All she wanted was attention and love. And that was it.
Right.
So, you know, we had her from the time she was 2 till she was about, oh, shoot. I don't know, but I will tell you this much. They do have very serious issues. Their
Yes.
eyes, if you do not get a little stitch put in their eyes, they are prone to their eyes popping out.
Yep.
Also, Missy had puppies and I kept one of hers. She ended up having some issue to where if she didn't get enough blood in her sugar, I had taken her to the vet. I can't remember what it was called, but I had to keep Energel tubes. This little girl, this big. Oh no, that was Noah. That was my neighbor's dog. Okay, so my dog had or my neighbor had a poodle and a Maltese that bred. Well, she ended up having a bunch of puppies. Well, a few of the puppies didn't make it. One of them
Oh,
was not doing very well. She calls me on the phone and she says, "Hey, meet me on your back porch cuz I have a deck. Right here's a fence and there's her." So I would stand on my deck, she would stand in her yard and we would conversate. She was like,
right.
"Hey, meet me at your back meet me in your at the back door or whatever." So I went
Yeah.
out there and she hands this little puppy. I mean, just a little puppy in a hand in a washcloth, handed it
Oh,
to me. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? I have no supplies.
yeah.
And this baby didn't even have its eyes open. Well, me and my husband at that time owned a pet store. So I went, got everything I needed. I got a 10-gallon fish tank, a heating pad. I covered it. I'll tell you what, this puppy grew to about 3 months old, but he never grew. He stayed he would be in my pocket, in my coat pocket, in my house coat pocket. He went with me everywhere. Matter of fact, my
Wow.
neighbor would look at me. I had to, do you know I saved his life and I still paid $350 for him?
Oh, wow. That's
Yep.
awesome though that you did that. But it sounds like
Yep.
he stayed kind of runted though, like because of what
He
his
did.
complications were.
Yep.
And that happens a lot with, and I know there's so many of them out there, and a lot of them they make it and they're fine, but that is what tends to happen when like mixed breeding happens. And
Yep.
mixed breeds are they're beautiful, you know, they can be very good dogs, they can be very healthy, but it is a risk that's taken when you mix breeds because you have the one breed that could have its own issues and then the other breed that's got its issues, and then when you mix the two together they combine and end up with a whole nother array of issues.
Right. Well, the issue was with this litter that this puppy had, or this dog had had. This woman completely way overbred her dogs. And she would
Oh,
breed them
wow.
with other poodles, other Malteses. And I mean, she literally, they were doing it for money.
Oh no, see, that's not.
So
That's,
she
I
was
mean,
running
they
like a
had
baby
about
factory on
10
dogs.
dogs. Yep. I'm going to
Yeah,
tell you, they
that.
probably had 5 poodles, five Malteses. And it was
Wow.
constant.
See, and that can
And,
do it
you know,
too. Like when you got them constantly giving
yep,
birth to puppies, it weakens
yep,
their, say, their womb, and to where eventually their litters stop being able to really make it or fully grow.
yep, yep.
And
Well, see, and
and
that's like we bred dogs, but we never did it like that. And our dogs go to the vet. They get
Right,
their shots. They get their checkups. We don't breed every year. It's like every
right.
other year, and then we stop at 5 years. They do
That's
not
how it's
breed
supposed to
after
be.
actually 4 years. The
Yep.
first year, from 0 to 1 year old, that girl ain't getting touched.
No,
Second
that's
year, may yes. Third year ain't gonna happen. Fourth year, we'll let her have a litter, and then she's done. I'll go get her fixed. She
right.
will be completely done.
And see, that's how it's supposed
I
to be. And
don't
a
do
lot
it
of
for
people don't look at that stuff. Like they don't pay attention to how it's supposed to happen. And they think, oh, well, a
right,
dog can have so many litters. And it's like, well, yeah, a dog can, you know, constantly get pregnant, but that doesn't mean that they should. And the way you're supposed to go about
exactly.
it is exactly how you said. They've got to have, you know, all their shots. They've got to get constant checkups to make sure they're okay. You know, you can't just use them as a breeding factor. You got to make sure that they're okay health wise. And It's
Actually,
better to
those
breed
are our
them once
babies.
or twice, and that's it. You know, no more
Yep,
than twice, and then get them
those
fixed because after that, you're starting to hurt them.
yep, those babies, those are our babies right there. Those 4
Right,
in there is our children. That's what we call
right.
them. Those are our children. And I've already told the vet, I said, I do want to breed her, but this is the reason why. It has not a lot to do with the money. It has to do with I want to train them to do something good for someone. A
Right.
therapy dog, I want to be able to do something because boxers are very, very smart. They're just a
Yes.
little stubborn,
Yes.
and while they're babies, they're still puppies, but they're
Oh yeah.
still learning.
And they've got a
They're
lot
very
of
smart.
energy too when they're young.
Yep, very smart and very protective. I'll tell you what, that
Yes.
male I got for my husband, I got the female for me. It's
Right.
vice versa. The male is a mama's baby.
Yep.
The female, my husband says, I'm not going to name her Lucy. Her name ain't Lucy no more. I said, well, what are you going to name her? He said, Bug. I said, why are you going to call her Bug? He said, because she's a little love bug. I'm
That's
like,
exactly
no, her name
why mine's
is
named
Lucy.
Bug.
Yep. But we were talking about him last night because I can get him to jump through hoop. I can sit, stay, lay down, pet. I can make Lucy stand up and dance. You
Oh
know,
yeah, they're very intelligent. They're underestimated with how smart and intelligent boxers really are because a lot of people see boxers and they think, "Oh, that's too much energy." But really, if you learn to say like control that energy, and say harness it into something else, they're very intelligent.
yep.
Very.
The best way to, for me anyway, to curb their energy like that is to work with them, to train them.
Right.
Because that's all they want to do. They want to work for you. Now,
Yeah.
I do not just sit and give my dog treats. They have to
No.
work for treats.
Exactly.
So, I do not feed them like if I'm sitting there eating, I do not want them sitting there looking at me and
Oh no.
drooling. No, I'm trying to eat. I'm sorry. Take your mess somewhere else. They
Right.
know better
Right.
than to do
Yeah. No
that.
begging.
And they do not lick themselves in front of me either.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
I
worst
do
when they
not
Yeah.
go.
hear.
Yeah, that's a big like, no, no, I don't want them begging me while I'm eating, and I don't want them say like cleaning themselves and stuff like that in front of me. Like, don't do that. Go elsewhere and take care of that.
Well, the worst is
I
when they're sitting there licking their ass, and then they want to come up and lick you in the face, and you're
Oh
like,
God.
"No, you were just licking your ass. Get away from me."
right. No, they have a room. I'll tell them, you know what? If you're going to do that, go to your room.
Yep.
Go to your room and do that. Not here.
Yeah. That's for you to do in your space, not
So,
out here in my
right.
space.
Yeah, right. So, and to be honest with you, like you were saying about taking that dog, if I knew somebody who was looking for a little dog like that, I'd be like, you know what? Meet me here. I'll bring you one.
Yeah. And
Because
see,
at
I
least
just
I know it would probably, I would have to make sure they give it a better home than what these people got over here. They have 4
yeah.
other dogs over there. It's not like they're going to miss the one. But then again, I can't say that. I have 4 dogs. If somebody took one of mine, hell would break loose out here.
No, yeah, and like we've got 6 of them here in total, and because there's
Mhm.
4 of them that are just my grandmother's, and then the 2, like what I showed you on the
Right.
live the other day, that's mine and Earl's. And
Right.
like any of them 6, though, if someone was to take them or try to like take them or whatever, like you said, all hell would break loose. I would do anything for them. Those are my fur
Yeah.
babies, all of them.
So,
And
Yep, exactly.
like that's why and like I said, I would not say take a dog from somebody because of how I am with someone taking mine, but When I seen her in that
Exactly.
condition, I could not help myself. Like my heart could not allow me to take her and put her back in that situation because one, I could tell she was being very
Mistreated.
mistreated because she was malnutrition. She was covered in fleas. It was starting to turn to mange. It had gotten so bad with the fleas eating her to where, like, where the fur was supposed to be had been so riddled with the
Right.
fleas that the fur was like gone. It was just that just bad skin underneath there. And I was like, I cannot consciously take her back to where they are basically using her as a training dog to fight other pit bulls, and which was another reason. I was like, she's a pit bull. They're gonna kill her. That's all they want to do with
Right.
her. They just want to use her to train other dogs to hurt each other. And I said, I can't do that. And so
Right.
I looked at Earl and I said, I'm sorry. I said, but she's not going back. And he said, hey, it's your choice. And I said, well, my choice is she stays here. She's got a new home. And since then, she's been with
Right.
us, and she's my baby girl. Like I would do anything for her.
Well, these people,
Yep.
they were in the house, but they didn't have like a fence to their backyard. You could literally say be walking down the street and just walk into their backyard or the back of their house.
Yeah.
And they had a really big dog. I think it was a mixed breed. He was really tall and really big.
Yeah. I don't know
And
what he was,
Uh-huh.
but he looked meaner than Cujo. He
they
did.
they'd let both of them out. Say the pit we have now and that big dog. They would let them out back, but there's no fence, so the dog, and they wouldn't put them on anything to say keep them there. So they were just running the neighborhoods all the time.
And see, I would have taken the big one as well because he was in the same kind of condition health wise, but they had already gotten him. He
Right.
was full grown. They had already gotten him in that temperament to where you could not get anywhere near him. He'd start showing his teeth and
Oh yeah.
like trying to like come after you. So like if he was coming
Right.
outside and I opened my front door, he would act like he was ready to come charge me on my own yard. So I wasn't about to risk trying to take him. So that one I had to
Right.
leave him behind. But when I seen her, I was like, oh yeah, I can't give her back, but I wish I would have
Right.
been able to take him too, because you could tell they had mistreated him and he had been raised to be a fighting dog and he had pit in him, but you could tell there was something else in him as well. It was almost like they had taken a mastiff and a pit and bred them together because he was huge.
It
He
is.
was
Right.
he was
Right.
bigger than say like a Saint Bernard. You know how big they get? He was bigger than that. He was huge and
I
very
wonder
mean.
if
And
it was part Great Pyrenees.
that's very possible because when it wasn't hot outside, it would have this like majorly like fluffy coat on it, which is what would trip me out every time because I was like, pit
White.
bulls do not have that coat. So I would think that
It
too,
wasn't.
like
Was it?
either do what?
Was it? Was it a mainly like a main what? Like the coat on it? Was it mainly white?
No, and see that's what confused me on it because like the type of coat it had
Right.
was that like kind of curly, shortish, fluffy coat like what Great Pyrenees have, but it wasn't white. And I'm
Oh,
thinking it
okay.
took that from. I think that the coloring though came from say the Mastiff or Pit Bull that was in it.
Yeah, because it had that kind of tan,
Oh, okay.
almost like a German Shepherd, like pattern kind of coat to it.
Yeah, but the texture of the coat was almost like what you'd
Okay.
see on the Great Pyrenees, how it's kind of like that little curly looking hair.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, it was kind of like that on like the texture of the fur, but the color of the fur was like he just said it had like that German Shepherd kind of color to it. But this thing was way bigger than any German Shepherd, and
Yeah,
it had that nose of a pit bull and a mastiff with the big jowls and stuff. So you
Oh,
could tell
gotcha.
yeah. So it
and
was
Okay.
hard to figure out what it was. You could tell that it came from a line of a bunch of different breeds put together. It definitely wasn't a solid breed.
Gotcha.
and and we say we took her, but it's not like we went in those people's property and
No.
took her. We were standing at a gas station
Yes.
and
She had
some
made it all
little,
the way there to a gas station around a group of little kids that had
yeah,
seen her.
a group of little kids come up and asked
Right.
me if I knew where she belonged because they found her running in the street.
Yeah, and we did. We knew where she went. That's why he told him, yeah. And then he showed me, and I nodded my head at her, which at the time, I'm sitting there getting my food. So as I look through the window and I see that, I'm seeing her thinking to myself, yeah, I can take care of her. She needs help, kind of thing. It didn't even click in my mind at first, whose it was
Right.
until I made it outside and like actually took her from him and was holding her. And then I realized I've seen her before
Mm,
with that big dog and right across the street from us, kind of kitty corner from us. And I was like, this poor thing, because the more I looked at her, you just even holding her, you didn't really have to, you know how normally you'd have to move fur to see fleas on a dog or a puppy? You didn't
Right.
have to do that with her. With
no.
her, just holding her, you'd see them crawling all over her eyes, her nose, her just everywhere. It was so bad. This poor girl, she didn't get a break from fleas at all. They were everywhere. And I was like, I can't. And I immediately took her straight to our house and went in the house and I gave her a bath. I bathed her in Dawn. And because the Dawn dishwashing soap, it's really good for, like, if you go to any groomers, when you ask for a flea dip, that's what they're doing. They're washing your dog in Dawn
Right.
dishwashing soap. They leave that on them for 5 minutes
Exactly.
after they massage it into their fur. So that's
Well,
what I
that's
did to
what I
her.
do with mine, and I
Right.
don't
And
even
that's the
have
best
fleas.
thing you can do.
Just do it. Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it
we
helps
do
prevent
live in
them
the
too.
country. Yes. So I don't need any parasites on my dog. So we're good.
Right.
But they do get their flea and heartworm treatments every month.
Yes.
So um,
Same
my
here.
dogs are very well, they're very well taken care of. Matter of fact, the thing that makes me late half the time in the morning is I make breakfast for them.
Yep.
I literally will heat something up. Now, afternoon, I don't. I give them their dry
Right.
food, but during the morning, I do give them a good breakfast.
Right.
We go buy chicken, like the chicken thighs. I will boil them, get the meat off of the bone, and I will mix that with the juice in their food.
Yep.
But they never get the bone because I'm not, no, that's how my little multi poo had passed away.
Yep.
Is
The
um
chicken
one of
bones are
our old, well, our old boxer at Thanksgiving time, I had set the turkey up on the counter, the leftover
right.
turkey, set it up on the counter. I went into the other room to check on a litter of Pekingese puppies that I had. I had came
Right.
back in, and Matrix is here. By the way, hi Britt, how are you? Good morning, sweetheart.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey,
But
Britt. Hey, Matrix.
hi Matrix. Yes, I said chicken. But I went in the bedroom because the Jenny had puppies, and I had put her on the side of the bed so I could keep her in a safe spot and not around everybody else.
Right.
Well, I had went in there to check on them and make sure Jay was eating and drinking and everything was okay.
Yeah.
So I go in my kitchen, and Noah, my little multi poo, is laying on the floor. Basically, within like 3 minutes from the time I walked into the kitchen, into the bedroom, checked on the puppies, came out, um, he had choked.
Oh
Because
my
my
God.
boxer got up there and pulled because my boxer got up there and pulled the chicken or the turkey down
Oh
off of the
no.
counter. She got up there, yep, pulled it down, and I ran out to my neighbor and I was asking for help. I was in tears. I didn't know what to do. It was
And
too
you
late.
know that,
But he was
yeah,
only, I'm going to tell you, he probably wasn't even a pound. I mean, he was
yeah,
teeny tiny.
yeah, and
So,
you know that boxer and the puppy probably had no idea what they were doing or anything when it happened. Like, because they won't do it, if they know that they're gonna say cause harm to each other or themselves, they won't do it. But
right,
I don't know. I see it as like, animals, they'll make mistakes kind of like how we do. And that's kind of what that
right.
seems like, is like the boxer smelled the food and was like, that smells good, but didn't say, think about, the bones and stuff. And then, of course, the puppy gets the bones and
Right.
then, the accident happens. But,
Well, and Noah had been sick, like I said. He was handed to me
right.
in a washcloth over the fence. He had been sick
Right.
from day one. I had to carry a tube of Energel from the vets, and I would have to give it to him because he would have like seizures to where he would basically put himself in a coma.
See, my
And I would
grandma
have to
has
give
one
him
right
that.
now. My grandma has one right now that has seizures all the time, and we've got to keep an eye on him when he starts going into one. There's a whole list of things that we got to do with him too. We try and stop him from going into them, but he has them so often, it's so hard to stop him from going into them. And then once they're in them, being able to help them while they're in it, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's
And my
worth
neighbor
it, but
would tell me, I'll tell you what was hard was I had taken care of this puppy, you know, and the neighbor, he got better. Like I said, he got better. He was doing really good. Other than the seizures, he was doing really good. My neighbor
right,
was like, "Oh, I'll take him back." After telling me the day before, when he looks at you, he just, you are his sunshine.
right.
The
And then
next
it's
day,
all
she was like,
taken
"Well,
back.
I guess I'll take him back." And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
no. And she was like, "Well, if
Yeah.
you'd like to keep him, we'll sell him to you for 350." She said, "I usually sell them for 500, but I'll sell him
Oh
to you
my,
for 350."
wow.
Yeah, I
I would
told
have been
him, and
livid.
he was like, "You know what?" Oh, I was. I told my husband, and he was like, "You know what, Lashana, we're gonna buy that puppy. After
Right,
that, you don't take anything from her.
right.
Nothing."
Yeah.
He said,
Because
"I know it's
that,
gonna break your heart to not help those babies, but we
yeah, but
cannot pay
still, those,
350, 200 for every time they have a mistake."
well, and also they kind of, forgive my way of saying this, but they kind of showed their ass also by doing, how they did you on it. It's like they used you to get the
Yes,
puppy better and then was like, okay, I'll take it back now. Like it was almost like they were trying to get free vet care in a way, which is not okay.
exactly,
And
right.
that's where I'd
So,
have come
yeah,
back
and
and
when he
said,
got
hey,
yeah, I should have looked at it and said, "Hey, are you gonna pay the vet bills that I have paid for this little guy?
Right,
or
Really?
that, or,
right.
So
or
what are
that's
you
coming off
gonna
the
do? Take
350.
him?"
If that would have
Yeah,
come
are
off the
you gonna
350, that
take
would have made the 350 disappear. You got to think how much vet bills are, babe.
Well, I
exactly.
know.
Oh, considering he was having seizures, and
Right.
the first couple times they didn't know why it was. It was like his blood sugar would completely drop and he would just like freeze.
Yep. And
And
see
you would
with,
think he was dead. But
yep. And with this one here, that's what we worry about because with him, his name is Blue, and with him, the chemicals in his brain because he wasn't able to fully develop and he got trapped in his mom's like sack when he was first born. He got trapped in her sack
right,
because she had twins. And when she had them together, she went ahead because they came out together, but they were in like a shared sack, but also a separate sack, if that makes sense. There was like two sacks over them. It was one solid
right.
sack and then two separates.
And then
And
separate inside.
right. And she had gotten the main sack and then the other one sack, but it had taken her so long to do that by the time she got to his sack, he was in there for so long or with it around his nose and stuff, it had like cut off the oxygen to
Mhm.
where he almost passed away.
Right.
And after doing everything that, had to be done to save him, it caused him to have now his seizures that he not, deals with. And he's now a year old, but he still, deals with those seizures.
Yeah,
And it's scary because he'll go walking around and he'll just look straight up and you'll think that he's like trying to climb a stairway or something the way he looks because he'll like do the steps, the large
right.
steps and look up, and that's when he's fixing to go into one. And it's like, oh no, because how do you stop it? And you can't. You can,
Right, right.
certain things you can do. We found that like will help say prevent it, but then other times it's already too far into it, and he'll just have the full on seizure. And then at that point, you just got to watch him.
Yeah, well, the vet told me for that case, what I could do is put a little bit of corn syrup in his water
Yep.
to keep him from going to kind of minimize it. But I'm not going to
Right.
stop it, and he'll live with that for the rest of his life.
Yes.
So, but
See,
yeah,
and
he was a sweet little thing, but
we got the vet that I did use back when I had my cat and back when he was, say, first born. Um, the vet that I did use, we ended up getting him in trouble because it didn't matter what animal you took to him, what the situation was. He was an elderly man,
mhm,
that just was still a vet, but it didn't matter what the condition was. If you took your animal to him, he would always have the same result. Put it down. You should put it down. There's no saving this animal. Put it down. And it was like, no, that's not, you can't do that every time. Like, just because they have a health issue doesn't mean that they need to be put down, you know? And
exactly,
that was his
right,
answer. That was his answer for everything. I had taken, like I said, I took my cat to him, my black cat, and he was a male, and he ended up having, which it ended up killing him, but we ended up, say, getting him longer than what the vet would have let us have him, and we kept him out of
right,
pain. He wasn't suffering anything like that, but the vet wanted to put him down 3 months before it was actually time for him to say go. And it was over a
right,
bladder problem that male cats can get, and it's based on the moisture in their diet. And when I got
yeah,
him, he was a stray cat that was out in dumpsters and stuff, and the people, I found him in the parking lot of McDonald's, and the people that were coming into McDonald's to go through the drive-through were like aiming their cars at this kitten. And so that's what made me get him. Well, the time that he had spent in this dumpster, he had spent so much time getting all this like dry food and, say, fast food and all that, that he didn't have enough moisture, but he had a lot of mineral in his system. And we never were told
mhm,
about this by that vet. So, of course, as he got older, no matter the amount of good diet I had him on with, say, the moisture like he was supposed to have and everything, it ended up not mattering because the amount of minerals that
right,
was in his system as a kitten had already affected him so much that it caused this bladder problem where it ended up becoming a big blockage. And no matter what vet I ended up asking, they would not do
right,
surgery on a male cat with that condition. They said all male cats with that condition cannot have surgery on them, only the female cats can. And I was like, first of all, why?
right,
Second of all, why are people not told this? Because a lot of people have male cats.
That was like
right,
a
I do,
UTI.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was like a
is,
UTI. And but yet it was almost like he had a stone almost because it was the mineral blockage that caused it. And
yeah,
if we wouldn't have done what we did in those last 3 months, he would have gotten blocked up and passed away from not being able to use the bathroom. But we ended up doing catheter
right,
stuff and all that to where he was able to use the bathroom. But he had already been so affected by the minerals that it took him anyway. And it completely destroyed both of us when he passed away. But that vet kept telling us, put him down, and then said the same thing with Blue on his seizures. It was, well, just put him down. There's no use in even trying to bother with him. If he's got seizures, he's a waste. And it's like, dude, why are you a vet?
right,
Why would you be a vet if your
jeez.
only response to everything is just put it down? It's a waste. You should never call an animal a waste.
Yeah, are you gonna say that about a child too that comes to you if they have a small issue?
Exactly.
Epilepsy, Down syndrome, I don't know,
Exactly. Like, does he look at those as
autism?
a waste as well? Like that's what it made me wonder. It's like, how
That's
can you say they're a waste just because they have a medical issue? They didn't ask for that.
well, I'm gonna say this. Anybody that abuses a child does not deserve an animal, and vice
No,
versa. Anybody that
exactly.
abuses an animal does not need children either.
100%.
So I'm gonna say, hello, M. Ray. Good morning.
Oh,
How
hey,
is Dave
Emery.
the now that we're
Hey,
talking about
Beat.
animals? Good morning, Beat.
Sorry, I got to keep looking over here at Earl's phone to be able to see it.
I know I'm trying to go down as they pop up. So this is
Right.
what my thought was this morning on this morning's conversation
Okay.
is what's your opinion on, or what's everyone's opinion on um, crime and paranormal? What do you think the link is? What do you think it is that makes them two just so where they coincide with each other? What's your opinion?
Well, for me, it's with the paranormal and crime linking up is like, especially, which, sorry to go back to this again, but for instance, in, the Gabby Petito case, the Summer Wells case, those
Yes.
cases where with Gabby, we know for sure, for certain, she's passed on. And when that happens, say a crime is committed where someone's life is taken, that's where the paranormal joins in with the crime, because a crime has been committed that has led to the loss of life, that has now led to that person being a spirit, and an unrest spirit at that, because now they're wondering, what happened to me. They've got
Yes.
questions, and they've also got messages that they want to send, that it's, they weren't done, and it's, hey, send the message here. I want people to know this about me, or I want my family to know this, or I want justice for this. There's a multitude of things, and that right there joins the crime and the paranormal two together.
Exactly. Well, that's why I was asking, is because I just wanted to know what everyone thought in regards to just the collaboration between the two.
Right.
And, your opinion on, do you think they just go when, okay, so people call them out. Do you think that calling them out, do you think that they come when they're called out, or do you believe that they just go where they feel? For me, for instance, okay, I believe, like, for instance, Gabby Petito, if she was to
Right.
come through, I believe that she would come through certain ones that can, or her parents, but as far as like physically calling them out, I just don't
Calling
know.
them.
I mean, I'm learning more about the way others are doing it as well, other than just the way we do it.
Right.
But like,
And that's
because
like
here on
what.
my channel, we don't call certain ones out unless it's, okay, like John stated, a family member of his. Then we would
Right.
try that.
Exactly. Or if we've heard like their name or something, and it sounds like what we've heard say them sound like, kind of thing, in that situation, then we would start, asking questions on, well, is this you, kind of thing. But
Exactly. Exactly.
as far as like calling them out, the way, like, it kind of goes back into like what we were talking about with Mr. Paranormal the other night. It's all on with that's if that spirit decides that they want to come through to you. It's not something, it's not like you got a number where you can just be like, hey, so and so, come talk to us, and they're just going to show up.
Exactly.
It's completely up to them.
Exactly.
We are at their will, is
Exactly.
how it is, really.
Right. And I would feel like, I feel like you would have to have some kind of connection, right? There would have to
Yes.
be a connection there.
Yeah, now like if her parents were to say sit down with, those devices and try to talk to her, they'd probably have a much better chance at getting a direct line to her than any of us would, because that's her parents. They've got a direct connection with her, you know, as to
Right,
where if
right.
we do it, I even tripped out when, because I told you about the night before they found her and all that, how she came to me. And I even tripped out about that, because I
Right,
was like, I couldn't figure out for the life of me why she came to me. Because I was like, well,
right.
I don't know her parents. I don't know any numbers to call to like get any information out. Like, why is she coming to me? And Earl kept telling me, well,
Right.
it's because she knows what you can do. And I said, well, and I get that, but at the same time, I don't have any way that I can say contact somebody, because like I didn't know how to get a hold of her parents or anything like that to say give a message or anything. And so it bothered me because I was like, she's coming to me, but I never called out to her. She chose to come to me,
Right.
you know, and
Now,
I
see, and
would,
that's the
that's
thing
how
that I
all of
like.
them have been.
Right. And that's the thing I like about some of them, like Mr. Paranormal. You know, he will state too that just because he's asking a certain person a question, that doesn't mean that that's that person really coming out
Exactly.
answering these
He's very
questions.
upfront about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one thing that a lot of them, I believe, need to state in their comments that, you know, hey, by the way, just to let you all know that just because I'm asking so and so a question, that doesn't mean that that's who is speaking through.
Right.
You know, and a lot of
And
them, they're like, oh yes, this is exactly who it is, this is what they're saying. And you
right, when they
know,
have no guarantee that that's what it is, you know, they can hope, but there's no guarantee unless they want to come through, they're not going to. And then for them to come through, they're going to have to say come through and give some information that's not already out there for it to be something that is going to have me going, okay, that's actually them coming to them, you know, through that. You know, because
right,
without definitive proof, there's no telling. It could be anybody, you know, by that name. You know, you never
right,
know in that situation. That's what I like about, you know, Mr. Paranormal is he puts it out there that, you know, yeah, I'll call out to state like Summer, for instance, but there's no guarantee it is Summer, you know, and he's honest about that.
yes,
That's where
yeah,
he differs from the other channel that we were talking about. I won't say it now, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where he differs from them because they make a guarantee and accept money on that guarantee that they can contact that exact person, and it's like, no, that you can't do that because there is no guarantee with that kind
right,
of thing. You know, the
right,
paranormal, the spirit world, we don't have a guarantee with that. Not even me. Even doing what I do, there's no guarantee that I'll get who I want. You know, I can call out, sure, but that's not saying that they're going to actually show up. They could completely ignore me if they feel like it, you know?
exactly, exactly. And I agree. A lot of the time, like Ray said, or Missy said, you know, a lot of the times it's a spirit guide.
Yes.
Yeah,
That nine
it's
times out
not
of
who
10,
you're.
it is your spirit guide.
Yes.
And the
So,
spirit guide will be the one to send the messages to you for them as well.
right. That's why, like on this channel here, what I like to do, I'm not going to call it my channel because this is actually our channel. Um,
Right.
I'm
But you
what
started
I
it
like
still.
to do, well, but what I like to do is ask who it is. I want to hear from them who it is. I don't want to
Right.
assume it's this.
And that's the best
Um,
way to go about it. That's what I love about here is you don't assume anything. You're open to any positive spirits coming through and, you know, giving their message and talking. And that's the
right.
best way to be about it is just to be open to the positive coming through and just letting them be heard, you know, because a lot of times people are so focused on the famous ones that they don't realize there's other spirits out there that also want to be heard. You know, it's not just the well-known
Yeah.
names out there in the media. There's other spirits that also need to be heard, you know, and you
Yeah.
give them that
And
opportunity.
yeah, because you know what, like I've stated before, there's enough people calling out these others, you know,
Yes.
these going on. I don't want to be a
More
part
than
of
enough.
that. I
Right.
I don't want to be known as that type. I like to
Right.
be known as being open to it could be anybody coming through. It could be
Yeah.
someone from your family wanting to talk to you coming through here.
Yeah.
You know, it could be like Britt said. I've heard Mr. P say other spirits bring the people through he's trying to reach. It could be
Yep.
someone that she knows.
Yep.
I mean, I can't say who it is. They have to tell me who it is.
Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of
So,
people think that the spirits play by our rules when it's the exact opposite. We're playing by theirs. You know, people may think that
right.
just because they're passed on that it means we're in more control, and that's not true. They're in complete control of when they come through, how they come through, who they come through to. That's all up to them. We don't have a choice in that. We're just, we are just their way of getting their message out there. And whichever way they choose, that's how, they decide if they want to come through, say like how you got, the channel where they can be heard by multiple people in different states and stuff, they can do it that way,
Yes.
and say then someone like me,
I
they could
want
come to
people,
me and have me give the message. It just all depends on how they want their message put out there.
right. And I want people to be able to come here to to tell us their story, to tell us their gifts,
Right,
inform us of their experiences and learn from others. I don't want
right,
people to get on here and feel like, you know, because they have paranormal in their name, or because they state they're a medium or a psychic medium, or I don't care if you're not anything, you're just on here to learn. I don't
right,
want people to feel threatened or humiliated or put down or like they're crazy. I don't want people to feel like that here. I wa-
exactly.
I
And
was on
that,
I was on a channel last night, for instance, and they started in with this psychic crap. And I'm like, you know
right,
what? I am so done with it. I am not going to listen to you bash people
yeah,
because of their gifts, their beliefs, their feelings. That is so freaking wrong of people. They don't like it when we bash their beliefs, their
right.
gifts,
And
you
see,
know.
that's one
Well, who
main
are they
reason
to
why I
bash us?
came. That's one main reason why I came here, because I had tried other
Mhm.
channels and stuff, and the minute that you put it out there, that's why, like when the first time you've ever heard me refer to myself as psychic medium was with Mr. Paranormal when he asked me directly, and because the
Right, right,
direct title would be that, but I don't like to refer to myself as that title because it is such a stereotype title, for one, that a lot of people like to judge that immediately. And then other places,
right.
you've got the ones out there that are trying to pretend to be that. And so I just tried to take the title out of it, and I'll just say I communicate with spirits. I have been communicating with spirits since this long.
Right.
I do it that way instead of putting the title on it, because people are very judgmental, which is why I ended up here. Because the other channels, the minute I've
Yeah,
mentioned that I communicate with them, they have immediately attacked me before, and called me all sorts of things, said all sorts of things, and it's just like, well, then I'm not even gonna go there. And then I happened to mention it on the other channel where I met you, and you were accepting of it, and then
right.
mention your channel, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go check that out, and you were very accepting of it. You didn't judge me, you didn't say, weren't rude about it or anything. You were very open to it, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely the place for me. Hey, John.
What's up,
Right.
guys?
Good morning, John. Well, that's the thing. I don't want people to come here and feel like they don't feel like they can put a title to themselves. I
Right.
want you to put that title. I want you to be who you are, how you feel.
Yeah,
That's what
Right.
I
exactly. Why
want.
wouldn't you be?
Yeah, if you want to I don't care if you stand on my platform and scream it to everybody that you are a psychic medium.
See, and
Guess
that's
what?
something
There is
that,
nobody here that's going to
We
be
will
like,
stand. We'll
Ashley,
stand for
you're
you.
freaking crazy.
well, yeah, and see, that's what I like about being here, is just like that right there. Like, y'all are willing to say, stand up for me on that, as to where other places, which I won't put those channels out there on blast for it, but they were the exact opposite of it. They were willing to ban me for it.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Right.
And it's like, it's not something that I can help. It's not like I'm, say, out here. You could check my channel, I'm not out here doing it trying to get views or get famous off of it or anything. It's just something that I was born with, that I can't shut it off, I can't change it.
Right.
And to be judged for
Yes.
something that you can't change, it it does get difficult to, say, deal with when which I get why people have their skepticisms on it, because like I said, there are those out there that are fake that try to, especially like it really came out with, again, the Gabby Petito case. You had a lot of them out there pretending that they were psychic mediums, that they were speaking to Gabby, and it made it look really bad on real psychic mediums, you know? And that's where I was like, I'm not saying the title, because with all of them doing that right now, I refuse to put that title on there because I'm going to get attacked more than I ever have now.
True.
Exactly. And Matrix, I'm giving you 2 thumbs up. If I had more thumbs for that comment, I would sure in the heck throw them for you. But right now, I'm giving you 2 freaking thumbs up for that comment, buddy.
I agree,
Some of us.
Got my glasses on my face.
What, John?
Said, could you read it to me? I don't have my glasses on my face.
It says some of us will agree to disagree. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm going to let you guys do this for a minute. I'm going to go use a ladies' room and check on my dogs. But I'm going to let you read that real quick. So, one moment, guys.
It says, some of us will agree to disagree. Don't have to be rude. Just be grown up about it.
Correct. 110%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I made 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. That's exactly how it should be. We should all be able to, have our different opinions, whether we agree, disagree, or whatever, just as long as we can be accepting of each other's opinions at the end of the day. And as they said, be grown up about it.
We're all different anyway. We may be all human, but we're all different.
Yeah, very true. Oh, hey, John, I got a question
from yours. Yours was very different from mine. So?
Yeah. John, I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you go the other night?
Well, now you're going to have to explain because I don't know what you mean.
When the whole stream, it was the day or the night, morning, however you want to put it, when Mr. Paranormal was on here with us all, after live, the after party.
Oh, I was going to go text Crazy Girl and it spit me off the line.
See, and that's what I was worried about. And when it happened, I watched you like disappear and I said, oh no. Well, then it was like
all of that. I was able to hear everything you and Earl were talking about. I just couldn't get back in there. I was stuck in the basement.
You didn't hear me singing, did you?
A little bit.
See, I thought you had gone off of there, and I noticed at like 2:18. I noticed that when I looked down, I noticed a 1 by that chat, and I checked it and seen that at 2:10 you had said, "I'm still here," and I was like, "Uh-oh, what all has he heard?"
Yeah. Well, that's why I put it out there. I was
Matata and everything else.
That's funny. It's all good.
She ended up leaving that thing on her phone just pulled up until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Waiting to see if y'all would come back in because we didn't know how both of y'all just got dropped like that. If y'all were going to come back in or not.
Because Crazy Girl had messaged me and let me know that she was having to restart her computer and everything. And so I was waiting on her. And I sat there till like 3 o'clock waiting.
I got back on and it said updating.
Oh, wow.
Updating. And I'm like, I was out, guys. I was done. I was like, when you get at some point, you get tired of watching that.
Oh, yeah. And see, I sat there till like 3 o'clock and I was singing different songs and all sorts of things. And eventually I was like, okay, I really hope that, they're not just sitting here listening and laughing at me because I'm over here singing Hakuna Matata and stuff.
No, I wasn't laughing.
Well, because I
wish I was to join you, but I couldn't get back in there.
Well, while we were waiting on like you to come back, John, and Crazy Girl to come back, Earl had pulled up on his phone Ziggy's live that went live that night, and there was a person.
I got done with that.
Yeah, and as they were going on about their back and forth stuff again, somebody in the chat's name was Hakuna Matata, and I said, how ironic that with this going on, Hakuna Matata is somebody's name in here. And so I started singing the song Hakuna Matata because it means no worries.
Yeah, no worries.
Right?
That's funny. Oh,
So yeah, um, and as far as the true crime going on these days, I don't even know anymore. There's just so much
Well, let
to.
me ask you a question, Ashley. Since you know her, maybe you do too, crazy girl. Is she considering herself a true crime channel?
Who?
Who?
Ziggy?
Ziggy.
I
I
do
honestly
believe
am not.
so.
Yeah, I was fixing to say I'm not sure what she would consider herself, but I think so.
Well, if she does, she needs to redefine it.
Well, see, and that's
I,
okay. I will say this. I liked Ziggy, and
I didn't have any
it
problem
was
with her either.
well, yeah, and but the only issue I have is when this whole thing started with um the Jenna thing, and then the major issue is the prayer garden thing. That's where I started saying, it's turned to drama. Why? But I'm trying not to judge all of them based just on the one. But I think that the one, as I said the other day, is the pot stir. And if that would be taken care of, I think that things would simmer down. I think that Jenna and Ziggy could find a common ground again if they would take out that one piece of the puzzle that's pot stirring.
yes, yes, I
But they
agree.
need, yeah,
I
Well,
agree
but
with
that's
that.
something that
that
they
prayer.
need to do like off the live, like in private kind of thing, because it seems like the issue started in private.
Well, when the issue starts in private and then
Yes,
it goes public, it's only going to get worse. Because then you got
Right,
other people drilling in there too.
right.
Well, and then you end up
right.
with that.
Well, go ahead, Earl.
Well, I was just gonna say, and then you end up with that. You got 150 people, and I say something to you, John, and then you say it to the next person, and by the time it gets back, it's totally different than what I told you to start.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah. But my thing is this. Okay, Prayer Garden and Jenna. They both got on Ziggy's platform, told their stories, got their, got their fame going, and now all of a sudden they decide to, hey, we're going to do our own channel and then bash Ziggy,
Right. And that's
No.
not okay.
which I think that, you know what? I think some people need to learn appreciation because them two ladies would not have, and I'm going to call them ladies because I am going to try to be as polite as I can about this. But
Right.
them two ladies would not be where they are right now if Ziggy would not have given them the platform. There
Hey,
was a
you know what,
lot
crazy
of
girl?
people left Ziggy because of Prayer Garden.
And you know what, crazy girl? You said it right there. It's exactly how you put it. And the way we put it in the South is you're polite about it and respectful about it until you can't be anymore.
Yeah,
So, like at this point, yeah, we can all be respectful about it and all that because we don't have a reason to be anything but. But now,
yeah,
if things change to where they start trying to attack us just for our opinion, that might change things. But as of right now, yeah, stay respectful.
Yeah, but the way y'all were
yes.
when it was getting brought up and talked about in different chats, and then say in our little after parties and stuff, I was thinking because I didn't know who these people were. I'd never heard of none of this, and
Yeah, I drug Earl into it.
I figured it was like some, I say kids, but some younger people. They were just all drama, and she
Yeah, and
got
then you
on
come to
there.
find out these are adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are older women, and I'm like, man, y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all ain't got a life of your own. Why are y'all like saying the high school drama environment when y'all are some older ladies? Y'all should be
But
taking care of your
it
business.
didn't used to be that way though on that channel. That's not how it was.
Well, and see, I don't know all that.
That's exactly what Crazy Girl was just talking about. It wasn't that. It turned into that when like how they broke off and got their own channels and then they started talking about Ziggy in a negative light when before, for instance, Jenna, she didn't have any issues with Ziggy until she broke off and got her own and started talking to other people such as Prayer
Mhm.
Garden and that is when her opinion seemed to start changing about Ziggy, and it started being about let's attack Ziggy.
I just
Well,
know I
no,
lost an hour and a half.
and a
Yeah,
lot of other sites.
Do what, John?
I said I've seen Prayer Garden in a lot of other websites.
Yeah, and I'm
Yep.
starting to
Yep.
agree
But she
with what
doesn't.
Mr. Paranormal said about her as well with the BK thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only
Well,
one I
my
have not been
thing.
able to find that you guys talk about is the guy. I cannot get him on my phone for some reason.
Huh.
The guy.
Yeah, the whoever this guy is that nobody likes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll send you a link on it to Dawn.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
I don't
because
want to
I
post
wouldn't
that
wanna
on
just say
here.
that. Yeah.
Don't post it on there. Just send it privately.
Yeah. That's what I was just fixing to say. I would not. I mean, it's your channel. Do whatever you want, but personally, I wouldn't just because of say the background on that person.
Well, I've heard a lot about this person, and I want to go check him out.
Right.
John, you
Yeah.
braver than I am.
But I did
Hey, I
send
step
Dawn the
myself
link
into
though
a lot
to
of bullshit
Mr. P.
sometimes, bro, just to prove people wrong.
Do what, crazy girl?
I was telling John I did send Dawn the link to Mr. P's channel.
Yeah, I got that last night. I found them all but Mr. P's. I guess I was just saying
Yeah.
it wrong.
Well, it's actually Paranormal After Dark because my mom did
Yep.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
see,
She
I
was
didn't
looking
know
for
that.
Mr.
I didn't know the after dark part.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
paranormal
called
after dark.
Paranormal. Yep.
And once we found it, I was like, I recognized his voice almost immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
So my thing is that I don't know why everybody is so worked up about what people behind a keyboard is saying about them.
No kidding. I look at people like that as keyboard warriors. They don't mean nothing.
Right.
Yeah, but all they do, all they're doing is they want to frustrate you. They want to
Yeah,
get
dude.
you worked up.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
they're trying to
don't
push them
talk
buttons
about
for
them,
sure.
you don't bring that up. You just let it go. You know what? Let them show their character with their actions.
Right.
Yeah.
Show your
Don't
character
stoop to
with
their-
your actions.
Don't stoop to their level.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just I don't understand why people just now I understand the whole doxing of kids and going to their house, going real life, physical harassment. I understand that. But guess what? There are things that you can do for yourself to keep
Here's
that
my
from happening.
question. Why do you want to worry about somebody that lives possibly
Secret
1,000 miles away from you?
memory.
Why do you want to worry about that? What that person thinks?
Right.
Who cares?
But you'd be surprised the people that do.
Yeah.
You really would. People, there's people out there that let it get to them very bad.
Oh, I know it.
Like some people will let it eat them up, like
Yep.
consume them.
Oh, I know this too, but I just
Yeah.
myself cannot fathom this.
No, I don't like it either, because it's trying to bring somebody else down. That's what I was talking about on the whole misery loves company thing. It's like somebody is not happy within themselves or their own life, and so they try to go and do these things or stir these things up to make someone else's life match their own. And
Right.
that's something I don't agree with. I believe if you're having a down moment, still try to uplift other people and be happy for other people, because in doing so, it's going to help build your life back up, you know?
That's right.
You
Because
got
I
that
mean, don't get
right.
me wrong,
Absolutely.
I've had plenty of like down moments in my life, but through those times, I have not once looked at somebody and been like, oh, well, I hope you fail. Not once. I'm happy for people succeeding, even if I'm not at the moment.
Yeah.
I still am very happy to see other people succeed and do well, because that's what we're supposed to want for each other. You know, we're supposed to want to see other people succeed and do well.
Yeah, but
This
that can only go so far, though.
Yes. Yes.
Like, say, if their message they're
Right.
trying to put out there is
Well, and
totally wrong, then we should stand up and tell them, no, man,
well,
this is wrong. And
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think
I'm
we
not
get
talking about the
upset.
negative ones.
right.
Like I'm not talking about people going out there and say trying to bring others down. Not those. I'm talking about like, for instance, okay, like how Crazy Girl's channel is. You know, like if I go through a bad moment in my life, I'm not gonna look at her channel and go, well, why is she doing so good? I'm not. Da 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 da. I'm not
Uh,
gonna do that. I'm still gonna sit here and go, oh, good, she's doing good. Her channel's growing, and this is happening, and I'm gonna still be happy for her no matter where I'm at. You know, that's what
yeah,
I
hey,
was meaning by it.
did you know we
Right.
had 70 viewers the other night?
Yeah, I was seeing that. That's awesome.
Oh, ain't that
Me
amazing?
too.
You
It
guys, that just
is.
makes my heart melt. Really.
When I seen that, I was like, Holly fucking Luya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Matrix.
Hang on, what'd they say? You gotta let
Yeah.
me know because I can't see it. Um.
This last one is
Oh, this is high
I'm
school stuff.
posting
I
them
hated
for
high
you,
school.
Ashley.
Do what?
Yeah. And
Watch
Emmerich,
it's green light now,
thank
but I
you
can
so
see
much for
now, guys.
listening to us in the car.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her. Is just be careful
Oh,
driving
and by the
though.
way, I'm not showing you the front, but you guys better be sending me addresses because I'm doing my Christmas cards this week, guys, so they get out in
You
time.
Oh
got mine already, don't you?
crap! I forgot again.
Yeah, I
I
got
am terrible at forgetting.
Well, it ain't like I can
You
go
guys are
put
fucking
on
lucky.
this
You
on
can
the
forget. I
envelope.
can't.
To Ashley Breyer somewhere in Texas, and they're gonna find you.
I think I would freak out if they did find me somehow based on that.
I would too. I would too.
I'd be like,
I
how in the
would
world did
too.
this get
Hey,
here?
Matrix, by the way, right. Hey, Matrix, by the way, I've been going through that channel, Crime Lines and Lies, looking for where you were talking about, they were talking about my channel, and I haven't seen it yet because I wanted to see who started the conversation, what it was about, and I really wanted to thank them.
Yeah, I seen that the other day and I was wondering.
So, yeah, I was
Hold
like,
on, guys.
all right.
Have
So I
phone
went through the
difficulties.
past 2 days. I didn't know if it was in.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know if it was in live chat. Oh, that was in Discord. I don't do Discord. Look, man, I'm still learning to do YouTube.
I hear that.
I'm far from a Discord. So
I tried to go over
I
to
don't even know
Discord. I tried and I was so confused. I gave up. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried it and I gave up so quick because I was like, this is way far beyond my understanding. I can't do this. I'm not there yet. I'm still at YouTube level.
I'm not
And
even
I
at you.
want
I know.
you to
And
understand
guys,
YouTube
really,
half the time.
Yeah, and to be honest with you guys, I don't do this for money. I don't, that's not even it. I'm here just to be with you guys and hang out and have friends and, do what we do that's interesting and help others as well.
That's what me and Earl were talking about too, is that's what we like about over here is say we can get up on panel and it's just like a bunch of friends talking, giving their opinions on say whether it be a case or just say somebody else's experience, whatever the conversation may be. It's just like a group of friends just up here talking, having a good time.
I hope it is. I hope it's
Yeah.
just like that.
And that's exactly how it feels. I
It
mean,
is,
for
and
me,
that's the way I want this to be. I want people in chat to go, hey, by the way, I want the link. I got something to tell you guys. And then we get on here and have that conversation. And,
I honestly look
accepting of
forward
each
to
other's
having this kind
opinions
of
and
stuff.
stuff. Do what?
I look forward to that kind of stuff.
Exactly. As long as we can say, all get on here, share our opinions and say, learn from each other and say, hear different things from each other and, keep it friendly. I'm all for it. That's what I like about it is we can all get up here and talk and we don't judge each other. We're accepting of one another.
And how I take it, because we've
But
had different people on the panel, is we can, whoever's on panel or even in chat, we all sit here and just talk. And we might come, you might come on live and you want to talk about a certain doll or a certain deal, and we do that. But then we also say we get off track and we just start talking about everyday things or just random topics. Like we're just say all sitting in the living room hanging out together, say having some green hearts or something.
Oh, where'd John go?
Yeah. It sounded like he was having some phone issues.
Oh, okay.
I know he said something about hang on a
So
second. I couldn't really hear him.
yeah. Dawn, I talked to mom last night. She called me and I always have to call her back. Something's up with my phone. If you call me, I can answer it. Neither one of us hear anything. All of a sudden my phone will shut off. But if I call you back, it seems to work just fine. But anyway, she had a lot of stuff to do this morning. She had to go pay taxes, go and get cigarettes, and do
see,
some running this morning. She wasn't feeling well, so
She's still
and
not
then she has
feeling
to work
well.
at 2 o'clock today. Yeah,
mercy.
she says she wasn't feeling well last night.
Oh
So
no.
we kind of threw
What
out
is,
some suggestions to help see if it would help her.
Right.
But she had a
Hopefully
lot
what
of
she
is
gets
what
some
things.
does
running
mom
back.
Yeah,
do for work?
I'm sorry. Well,
What does
she
mom
is
do
in
for
home
work?
health care.
Home health care. Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she takes care of an old family friend of ours. So, and she, yeah.
That's all. You know what? If I
So,
had to
but
have
anyway,
somebody taking care of me in that situation, I would love for that to be mom because she would be a hoot. That would be amazing to
my
have her
mom
around,
is
not only
freaking.
taking care of you, but keeping you company. That would be amazing.
Right. Discord is useful to get messages to everyone in your group. I belong to a few groups, mostly scam baiters. Yeah, see, I don't even know anything about it. I hear everybody all the time. Well, go to my Discord, go to do this, go to do that. Look,
Yeah,
guys, I'm in one place. I want to be right here where you all can find me.
right.
I don't want to be
See,
here, there, and I do not want to make I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna stay with here, guys. When I learn more, I don't know, but yeah, if you have to pay for Discord, you have to pay to Discord. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make y'all pay. It's just not gonna
right.
happen.
Well, you know what? It gets more confusing. I'll tell you this much, just from say people I've watched that say have a YouTube channel, say like a news channel, and
Raja.
they're on Facebook, Discord, TikTok, Instagram. They're on all the social media stuff, and they can't ever keep up with any of the chats because you got a chat in each one of these deals, and you're sitting there trying to stay on subject. Plus, you get these people that get mad if you just don't answer them out of the say 1,000 people that are there
Raja bed.
typing messages, and it's like, hold on, that's too much work to keep up with, and then you still expect me to sit in front of a camera and talk too?
Oh, there's one channel that's got like 5 separate websites to go through all at once to watch live, the same exact live all at once. And it's like, I
No,
can't keep up with all that. I'm lucky to understand what's going on YouTube.
you guys, I got Facebook, I've got YouTube, and I have email. Guess what? That I'm good. I'm good. Oh, I have a TikTok.
See,
I probably have 5 videos on there. Um, I don't know what the hell I'm doing on that thing. Well, my niece Peyton, she's gonna have to help me learn, but I haven't.
see,
And
that's where
yes,
I'm at.
Dawn, I did get, and I sent you a message back.
Raja,
Um,
bed. Good girl. Come here. Raj, come. Lay.
anyone gets demanding on me, goodbye.
Lay.
Oh, I
Lay.
do want to,
There's
um,
a good-
make a comment towards this comment. Todd, our Matrix, haunted, we are not calling them trolls. We're calling them the misinformed.
Yeah.
No trolls, just misinformed people. That's it. And Britt, yes, ma'am, you can. I'm going to post my name. So if anybody, and I really don't care. I know I was told to keep some of my information private, but guys, you can't be private when you're trying to be friends with people. I mean,
Right.
you want to share your experiences. Now, I will keep some things private because private's private.
Yeah. That's
But
something else to
as
say
far-
you've helped me with as well. Is I've had a lot of trouble dealing with social anxiety to where I'm actually not that good with talking to people and being out in public and stuff because of I've explained it on here one night with my car. I'll use that as the reference, what had happened. And ever since that happened, I've had major social anxiety, and y'all have helped me kind of come out of that to where I'm able to talk to people and be myself and not have to, worry about harm coming to me because of it. So that's something that I do appreciate about this. Y'all have actually helped me more than y'all even realize, And imagine that, having social anxiety and talking to spirits.
Right. And that's another thing. Like, I want to say hi, Mallory, and welcome to our small paranormal family. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Mallory. Welcome.
So, and I agree with Matrix. You're on a public forum. So private is what you make it. Okay.
Exactly.
So as far as private, the problems that I have in my life, I'm going to keep private. Those are my problems and not anybody else's. And when I speak problems, I'm talking my personal problems.
Right.
I'm not going to get on here and tell you guys, oh my gosh, I wanted this and this, but I ain't got money for it. I'm not going to tell you guys that because it's none of your business.
Right.
I'm not trying to be mean, guys. Please don't take that like I'm trying to be mean.
No, I don't take that as you being mean at all.
Okay. But you hear a lot of people do that. And when they do that, they're asking for money. I'm not asking for anything from you guys, but you guys to be here and to please be respectful towards everybody and their feelings and opinions, because we all have them and we all have the right.
And hey, that's
to express them.
And that's something I can give in abundance. I don't have a lot of money to give, but I've got all the time in the world.
Yes.
Hey, just make sure you keep the toilet paper rolls picked up.
The what?
He said, just make sure you keep those toilet rolls picked up.
Look, man, I did that this morning. Just so you know, this morning I made sure there was no empty toilet paper rolls in my bathroom.
When the fight starts, I'm selling tickets.
Right. No, I was like, I've got a busy week today. I don't need him frustrated at me. So I'm picking it up. I've got a busy week, guys. I've so got to do this flea market thing that I've put off for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I really need to get over there and take care of that. Much love, Beat, to the fullest, sweetheart. I hope you have a great day.
Love.
So,
hey, Pete, are you out of that truck yet?
Good day, girl. My family, 6 of us. 5:30 a.m. We are enjoying your TV show and any randos in the future. Yes, Chris, I do have some rando nodding that I am definitely planning for the future. I am waiting for my mom to come down so me and her can go do a little. So, yes. And welcome, Chris. Say hi to the 6 of you. We're sending them all of our love and hugs and hope you guys are staying warm where you're at. Fundraiser. Yeah, if I do a fundraiser, it's going to be not for me. It's going to be for a animal shelter. Yeah, I look, man, when I wake up in the morning, I'm happy with myself. When I go to bed at night, I want to be happy with myself. Taking somebody's money is not going to make me happy with myself. So that's just not going to happen.
No, I don't see how that could make you happy.
Hey, Bats.
Hello,
Well,
Bats.
hello there, Lady Bats. So, yeah, I just want us to be free to be who we are on here, not be judged by no means. Guys, we are not judge, jury, or executioner here.
If anybody out there listening to this right now, I'm going to stand here and tell you it's a fact. They do not judge. If they were going to judge anybody, it'd been me.
Beat, that's a good price.
It's true, and you know it, crazy girl.
Yeah, exactly. But please talk color toilet paper cores. White paper is bland. You know what? I don't know if I want colored toilet paper. I would be kind of worried.
Yeah.
If you're not in your truck, Beat.
Now, what would be cool is that they had different colored toilet paper rollers. That would be freaking amazing if it came like that.
You want pink, purple, red, and blue.
Is that what they were meaning when they said toilet paper cores? Because they said,
yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. I read wrong.
I was too at first, and then I reread it, and I was like, wait a minute, cores, are they talking about the actual roll? Like the part you were just holding up?
Yeah, that's the core.
Yeah.
Are they talking about that or the paper being a color?
They're talking about the cores. See, there you go, right there.
I was about to say, where can I get it? And I'll send John a brown roll of it.
Oh my gosh!
I want a pink roll.
He wants a pink roll. How dare you assume he'd want brown?
You know that's what Princess will want. She'll want the pink.
Princess has to have the pink. He's Princess.
No, Princess can keep his own shit. I want the pink.
John said no, the pink's for him.
You can give him the brown.
All right, John, you can have the pink. We'll give Princess the brown, but if Princess gets mad, we're sending him to you. You got to deal with Princess.
Okay. I'll deal with Princess.
Okay.
Matrix, I could care less as long as it's not thin or sandpaper.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Earl, but did you see what Bat said?
No.
3-ply requires a plunger. Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's the damn truth, though. 3-ply requires a plunger.
Yes.
Hey, I look at it as long as it don't feel like sandpaper.
Oh, gosh. That's the worst.
You don't want none of that John Wayne shit, huh?
No. Oh, my gosh. No. It ain't taking shit off nobody. Forgive my language.
That take your skin off.
Yeah, that's what he means by the John Wayne toilet paper.
Right down to the fresh layer.
Yeah.
You know way too much about toilet paper.
I was going to say that too. I agree, Matrix. We know a little.
If you're using it, you can scrub the wall with it.
Yes, Beat, it is. I agree. When you're in that situation, yes.
But you know, I thought that was crazy when all this started, say, a year and a half ago. how everybody freaked out and went and bought toilet paper out of all the things.
You know what though? They were grabbing toilet paper. I was grabbing food. I was like, the one thing I'm not, that
Yeah,
I'm more worried about than
exactly.
anything is food. I'm trying to feed
I
my
never
family.
understood that. Is you gonna eat that toilet paper?
Exactly. That's where my mind was at. I was like, y'all all rush to the
So
toilet paper. I'm going to the
I
canned
always
goods
thought
and the
that was
rice
weird.
and potatoes
You're
and
gonna have
stuff.
no food. You're gonna starve to death, but you're gonna be able to wipe your ass.
Yeah, that's why my first place I went when it came to going to the store, everybody was rushing to the toilet paper. I was going to the rice, the potatoes, the canned goods, stuff like that I knew would last. That's
Food.
what I was going to. I was like, I'm feeding my family. I mean, I'll use newspaper if I have to. If it comes down to it, I'd rather use newspaper as long as my family's fed.
Hell, I got
You know,
150 t-shirts. I got a lot of ass wipe right there.
exactly. I mean, if worse comes to worse, you could use a rag.
Yeah, that's how they did it back in the day.
Yeah, that's what washing machines are for. I mean, hey,
That,
well,
that
when
says,
it hits the fan, any plot house.
That's funny.
Yeah. Hey, that's not a lie, though.
right.
It's truth.
Exactly. You guys are goofy. That's fun though. John
that's
and
how they-
Hey,
his
B, as long as you're staying warm, that's what matters. As long as you're
That's right.
staying warm, you and your cat.
That's right.
yeah.
I
Oh,
hope
so
things get better for you, B.
Shit, bet.
okay. And blow your nose laugh out loud. I'm stuck in a housing
Yeah.
crisis. That's what it is.
Hey,
No
B, I hope
judgment
things
here.
get better for you. We'll be praying for you.
Yes.
Not to bring religion into it or nothing, but I just want to put that out there.
No, you're good.
I just want to know
That
why
I
Beat
don't mind.
made it to where he can be with
Okay.
people.
I just don't feel like long conversations in regards to religion is
Oh,
really
okay,
a
like
good idea.
like religious beliefs and stuff like that.
That's never a good idea to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's why I try to keep it down to
Well,
just like
you know,
That
the
three
simple
right
event
here, I
that
can
I'll
see
pray
maybe
for you.
okay, but no,
Yeah.
no, no.
No, that's why I just like try to keep
yeah,
it
my
something
biggest
short and simple.
yeah, and like I stated, as far as religion, I really don't judge on what somebody's religion is. If it makes you a better person, then continue to do what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am. That
But
Yep, that's
but if you're out there using a religion for hate, then maybe you should consider and look into something else, because that's
yes.
not it's just not the way. That's what's wrong with this. I don't even want to go into it, because we will go into
Right.
it and it'll be an all day conversation.
But I
And
get
I
where
would
you
not
are
get
going with
squat
it, and I
done.
100% agree. I do get where you are going with it,
Okay,
though, and I
great.
agree with you 100%.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, need more
That
lighting.
said, I have.
So
Oh,
typos.
sorry.
Nope, go ahead. I was just.
Hey, there's only 3 of us up here, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then who is the 4th voice?
You know, I've been kind of wondering that, but I didn't know if we were just getting overlay or something. So,
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Do you hear that, crazy girl?
I haven't been. I just been I've been listening to everybody, so I don't know, and reading as well.
okay.
It seems to be a background voice.
Yeah, like what was happening when Mr. P was up here.
Yeah, he was. I think he brought that to us and wanted to show us.
Yeah, because that was weird. Because we kept hearing like we heard different things, and it wasn't just one of us. There was
That I agree 100%. Sorry.
several of us that were hearing the same exact words and sentences being said, and nobody was talking.
That's right.
That's
Peace,
right.
love,
Peace,
and
love, and harmony.
Harmony.
Yeah,
Yep.
Britt and B, I agree with both of you.
Yeah, and you
Wishing-
know what? wishing someone well and telling them that you will pray for them, I don't have an issue with. Please do. I think
Okay.
more people need to be saying that than saying
Okay.
some of the other hateful things that
If
they
you're
are
human and
saying.
you have a
That's
heart, you
just
have no problem with this.
well, that's just me and how I
Right.
am. And so it came out and then I was like, oh, and I didn't know if that was something that you were okay with,
Well,
say just keeping it short and simple like that, or
yes.
that's why I was like, oh, but it's hard to control and it's
Nope.
something that
Yep.
you just do on a normal basis. That's what I tell people, you know?
That's why I'm surprised they haven't
Right.
kicked me out of here.
No.
Hey, John, if you're still
No.
on here, we know we're good.
We're good.
Exactly. Maybe the NASA is listening. Hey, maybe I'm the only channel out there that's not causing a bunch of drama or having a bunch of drama on their channel. And they're like, hey, we need to see what this chick is doing.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
you know
Coach
what?
Bill,
That's
I
what I was
can
gonna say.
absolutely sit here and tell you, you probably are.
Well, if they're watching this channel, it's simply because they're trying to like they're in shock of how so many people can come together and all laugh about everything and still like have different opinions but be okay with each other. And they're probably like mind boggled by how that can happen.
How are they
Yeah, how that
communicating
works.
without fighting?
Yeah, like what is this communication?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. Well, that's like last night, guys. I really hate to admit it, but I I was on Ziggy's and then I heard everybody talking about Prayer Garden. So I hopped over to that channel and I was listening and listening.
Yep.
Um and I couldn't no more, guys. I just couldn't.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't
everybody gets
saying
to their
anything.
limit.
Well,
I
what I
wasn't
found about
saying I
funny
didn't
with
say
her channel,
anything hateful,
what I
but I
found
just
funny with
stated
her
the
channel
truth
is when
and
you
didn't
go there,
like
you
it.
don't get any reply back.
Exactly.
I
So
said
I
hello,
don't know. I
and then I made it apparent to make sure that they seen it, but still got no reply back. Now I'm somebody. If you're gonna want to do a channel, you should do your best to make sure that you greet everybody. We do, even though I know you can't get everybody, but you should make it an effort.
Right. Maybe
exactly.
bats.
I I try to get everybody. I do want to. I want people on here to know that I see them. I pay attention. You know, if I do happen to miss somebody at one point,
Maybe
just put your
bats.
hand up and say, "Hey, you missed me, man. You better call
Right.
me out because I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm
Well, I'm not
sorry, I
gonna get
didn't."
mad about it because I know that sometimes it's impossible to.
Well, see, and that's like up here. That's the hardest time I have too, is because I'll go to say something and I do my best to try and not cut somebody else off, but it's hard sometimes because like the timing as you go to say something and someone else has already
Yes.
started, you know, and you end up kind of over talking. And I try not to do it, but it's really hard not to do that, you know, when
Oh, it's all
on here.
good. Dang it. It's the way it goes.
But yeah, that's why I'll
Well,
just like I'll sometimes you'll just hear me, I'll go, oh, sorry. And that's me like saying, hey, I didn't mean to cut you off kind of thing.
If I
if
cut
you
you off
think
and I
about it,
realize it, I'll wait.
Right.
we would be doing the same thing even if we were in person. So
Right.
it
Right.
is. This is the way we talk.
This
Yeah.
is what it is, guys.
Yeah, it's just conversation. It's how conversations go.
Yep.
That's how they're supposed to go.
Well, yes.
You
Yeah,
could have a
I agree,
conversation with
Pat.
people and disagree and still talk about it and
Exactly.
understand where you disagree, but still get along with each other.
That's I 100%
Yeah.
agree with that. Yep.
Yep. I agree. Last
Yeah,
person I
bats.
want
No
preaching
kidding.
religion to me is Don Wells.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
Hey,
don't
that's like
know.
there's when it comes to him preaching, it would go back to the old Southern saying of don't try to clean somebody else's doorstep until your own's clean.
That's correct. Holy
Right.
shit.
Right. And for it, that's what I want to do. I just want to pass on positive vibes. For
Yes.
instance, last night when I was on prayer gardens, okay, I didn't want to say anything rude or hateful, and I really had to fight that back. which I
Right.
I hear you.
didn't say
I do
anything
that all the
big
time.
rule. Yeah, I don't think I really said anything that was rude or hateful. All I said was the fact that people need to learn appreciation for what others do for them to get them where they are now.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
one of the things
Which
that I
there's
hate
I
the
nothing wrong
most
with saying that.
about most of these talk sites out there is most of the people that are there don't even understand the concept of what they're listening to.
Right.
right,
Well,
and
and a
I
lot
did
of
make
them,
another comment that was, by the way, y'all could be doing something nice for somebody else instead of sitting here bashing other people.
Yeah,
Can't you
exactly.
guys do something positive for somebody? You may be the one to save somebody's life today.
And then
right,
you've got a
right.
lot of them in chat where if you notice, like you'll see certain names in chat that if you go to all three of those channels, you'll see that same person in their chat agreeing with that person on their channel. But then on the other channel, they're saying all bad things about that other person when they're subscribed to
And
all
I
three of
don't
them.
like that shit for nothing.
No,
Right.
it's so much like a penny. It's ridiculous. It's two-faced. I don't. That's one thing that I have zero patience for is when someone becomes two-faced.
Hallelujah. Me too. I don't
Yeah.
have no patience for that shit.
Right. I mean, I'm all for being nice and stuff, but I'd rather someone if they don't like me, just tell me you don't like me, but don't say you like me and then behind my back say bad things about me, you know? I mean, you
Right.
can give your opinion
Right.
about me and say it comes with love. That's one thing. But to say that you're, here for me or say you're my friend or whatever and then go behind my back and say, "Oh yeah, I don't like her either." That I have a problem with. Just be honest. Don't be two-faced.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what a lot of them I've
Right.
found do, especially in that situation on, say, that channel. I've noticed that there is certain people that are subscribed to all three of these women, and yet they'll agree with each one as
Back
they're
and
on that
forth.
channel. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure
And it's
Earl will
like
agree
you
with
can't
me
do
on
that.
this. That's one of the worst things you can do is being a man, is being a two-faced fuck.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
I just always say just keep it real, you know. I'm not gonna judge you on what you look like, what you're wearing, what you
I could care
have.
less.
I could care less. Just like don't judge me because I'm say tall, look mean, got tattoos on me. Uh, you
I'm
don't know who I
5'10",
am. I know what I've done
Oh,
and where I've
man. I
we
been.
don't give a shit.
we have literally gone into the store before and an elderly woman looked directly at him and said, "You are the devil," just based on, him having his beard and his tattoos. And that's what she looked at. She looked at the beard, then she looked at, say, the tattoos and called him the devil. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what I told her was, I said, "Bless you, ma'am." But
Yeah.
then I ended up, thinking about it later. And like I told Earl, I said, that's something that bothers me. As I said, is they look at you and they judge you by what they see. But if they only got to know the person, they would see you're the exact opposite of what they say.
Right.
You
Well, me
know?
and my buddy
Exactly.
Rick, we get that same kind of treatment in stores around here. We're both bikers. We act like
Right.
bikers, and we are
Right.
bikers.
But
And when we
bikers
walk
get
in
such a
stores,
bad
people look
rap
at us and
too.
say, "Here comes trouble," and we don't even know them.
Right. And that's how a lot of it is. Like you go, I've noticed it even here. You see bikers show up, and a lot of people, as they walk by them, they'll like go wide around them and they'll stare at them the whole time. It's like they think at any minute they're about to start something. And it's like that's not really what they're about.
No,
Will
no,
they
it's
continue or finish a fight? Sure, but they're not going to be the ones to start one.
They're
They're
not just looking for one either.
Yeah, for instance, my uncle, he was with Hell's Angels, and they have back in their past when he was running with them, it was a bad rap that they had. Now when you hear
I'm
about them,
with the banditos. That's how it is around here.
yeah, and it's like they would look at him and think, "Oh, well, he's a mean guy because he's got that Hell's Angels rocker," and it's like, no, he's actually a very warm-hearted teddy bear. That's really what he is. But you see him with that rocker on his vest, and you think, "Oh, Hell's Angels, he's terrible," and it's like, no, he's not.
No, he's
It,
not.
it's judging
Right.
just based on appearance. I mean, he's passed away now, but they would judge him on his appearance and stuff, and that happens so often where
I
people
get
just
it
look at
every
one
day. It
another
don't
and
make no
judge.
difference to me. I get it every day.
Yeah, and it's like
Right.
get to know someone's character, not their appearance. You don't judge someone by what they look like. You judge them by their character. you know?
Right.
Well, and that's like I wear a beanie all the time, just for the simple fact of it keeps people from. Well, I noticed it helps me from having people just stare at my ears all the time because my ears are say I have cauliflower ears from fighting,
Yeah.
and that's one thing. They'll
That's
see
some
my ears and
Yep.
they'll just start looking at me all crazy.
And then they judge him on that, thinking, oh, well, he likes to fight. He's a problem, starter. He likes to get in fights. And it's like, no, that was his career. That's
Yeah,
what
but
he
see
did to
what they
make
don't
money.
understand is not only cauliflower ears come from fighting, but it does come from other things too.
oh yeah,
Exactly. And
Right.
that's all comes down to, if you see somebody like that, it's better for you to walk up and ask them questions or start talking to them, get to know them, instead of just looking at them and assuming. The minute you assume about, which is what I've always been told by my grandma and grandpa being raised by them, was the minute you assume something about someone, you're making an ass out of you and them.
That's right. And
Because
see,
that's
here's
how
something
it's
Right.
my
felt.
mom and dad has always told me: if you have just a smidgen of intelligence, use it. It will benefit you.
Yes.
and yes, Matrix. A
Right.
lot of people get them from wrestling, but I had an MMA gym, and that's where I got mine from. Was doing say just jujitsu and stuff,
Yeah.
Right.
and being hit. Yeah, because like I used to tell them guys all the time, they'd come in there little hot heads. I want to fight. I want to fight. I'd straight ask them, "You like getting hit in the face?" "Oh no, you're not hitting me in the face." "Well, this ain't for you then, because you're gonna
Yeah.
get hit."
You don't want to
Well,
walk your ass back out the door.
Right.
the ones I find funny when it comes to like the fighting and stuff is the ones that come in and ready for a fight, or they think they're ready for a fight and they're all hitting themselves in the face. That is normally, if you watch the fights, that is normally the first person to get knocked out, is the one who started off hitting themselves, acting like they're ready for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's
Oh yeah.
absolutely
You
hilarious
guys,
because you see them come in doing all that.
Yes, crazy girl.
right. Hey, I want to address this comment by Bats. She says,
Okay.
make a difference, not add to disaster. Thank you,
Correct.
Bats,
Exactly.
because that's what I
Yeah.
that's what I want this channel to be, is a channel that can make a difference. Even if
Yeah.
it's a small difference, it is a difference.
And you're
And
doing that.
that's why, yeah, that's why I want to state every time I'm on here how, I think once a week, I'm going to do a little segment where I want people to come up or to come on. You can either come on panel or do it in chat, or you can email me. Either way, I want to hear from you guys about one thing you may have done that week. I'm not saying you have to do it every week, but something that you have done that week that you feel made a difference for someone else, or
And Rick moved a whole house
you
for an old
doing
lady
something
that
for
we didn't
someone
even
else
know, and we took no
made a
pay for it.
difference for you. Say that again, John. I want to hear that.
I said, me and Rick moved an old lady out of a house here last week. We were supposed to get paid for it, but when we got there and we realized this person didn't have no money, we did it for free.
Right. And
And
see,
you know
that's
Right.
what we
good.
got
Good
out of it,
job.
which to me was the most important thing? Some damn cookies. And those cookies were the best
Yeah.
damn cookies I've ever ate.
But you know what? That's
There
one of
you
the best things that you can do, and that speaks a lot about your character. It does. That you are the type of person to go somewhere, and you say it started off with the understanding of, say, money for doing it or whatever, but then you are a good-hearted person that once you got there, you observed the situation and realized that she wasn't exactly able to pay, even though she was willing to, and having a good
Mhm.
heart, you did it for nothing, which that's
Listen,
what
guys,
more
Yes.
people, I wish more people would
all
do
this
stuff
place
like
is
that and
business.
be
I
that
did
way.
hard work, and I have lost out on a lot of money doing that kind of stuff. Because if I think for a second that you don't have that money, you're gonna walk
but
away with that shit for free. And I
but
don't
you
care if
know
it
what,
costs.
though, John, you're missing out on money, say, here, but you're gonna
I'm
get
not
paid
missing
back
out on
tenfold
anything.
later
That's
on.
exactly it.
If you catch what I'm saying without
Thank
me having to get deep into it, you're gonna get paid tenfold later on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
No, I believe that.
Yes.
I do.
And you
I
know
do
what?
wholeheartedly believe that.
Yes. You will reap the benefits of
You
what you do for people.
And
and
see,
how did
though,
that
here
make
a lot of people would look forward to that, whether it comes to
Exactly
it or
what
not.
Crazy Girl
right?
just
And
said, John.
how did that
Go
make
ahead. I'm
you feel,
sorry.
John, at the end of the day when you went to lay your head down on the pillow? How did you feel about what you did that day?
Exactly
I
that.
felt fantastic about it.
There you go. That's
My
what it's
heart
Yep.
all
was
about.
warm. I was warm. I was happy. You
And
know,
that's what it's all about.
she's
Yep.
Right
moved to
there.
where she needs to be happy and warm too. So why in
And
the hell wouldn't I be happy
Exactly.
and warm about it?
imagine the way you made
See,
her feel too. Without her
Exactly
having
the
to
way
pour
I
her
felt.
problems out, you understood her, and you might have been the first person to understand her in the longest time without her having to say anything. That could have made her feel so much better about her situation just based on how you treated
And
it.
yep.
God bless her. I hope it did.
Yes.
But
Yes.
she'd have
Well,
had
God
me
bless
like she
you
had
too,
you.
because you did it too.
Do what?
What?
I was just saying, and God bless you too for doing what you did for her.
Yes.
When me and Rick both realized this wasn't what we thought it wasn't even a thought to go and just do it anyway. It was not even a
That's
thought. We both got out of the truck. We both went and did our damn thing. We got it done. We were both happy about it.
because you're genuinely
Good.
good-hearted people. That's what good-hearted people do.
Yeah, but we're bikers and everybody sees us as big bad people. It's like you said a while ago, don't judge the book by its cover. Read the damn thing first.
Exactly.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
at least try to.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, you got to give everybody a chance. Give
Read the
somebody a
first
chance until
page and
they
then
give you
read
a
the
reason
last
not
page.
to.
You'll
That's the
get
way
it.
I look at it. Every time that I say meet somebody, I always look at it as give somebody a chance until they give you a reason not to.
Well, that
Oh,
saying for
guys,
me
I
was always
forgot.
give somebody 50-50.
Yes.
I didn't forgot, but I would meant to put her, but I wanted to comment to Bats. Hi, Linda. Good morning, sweetheart. How are you this morning? I hope you guys
Hey,
are
Hello,
having a
Linda.
good
Linda.
Monday morning. Girl, and I'll tell you what, Linda was kicking butt on there though last night. I had on Prayer Garden. I was sitting back here busting up laughing at her. But man, I was like, you go, girl. You give
Was
it
she
to him. You
was she
tell him.
tearing him?
Well, she was being
Excuse
respectful
me.
about it, and even if she wasn't, that's
You can be respectful and
it
burn him
is what
down.
it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
There's a
I
respectful way
really
to
love
put people in their place. There really is.
In fact, if you do it
yeah,
the
and
respectful way, it's worse on them. Ha ha.
Yes.
yeah.
Hey,
So
kill them with kindness, like they say.
Yep, yep.
yeah,
Okay, you guys start getting to
yeah.
it.
Hey John, that
Okay.
lady would have got the same treatment for me because if she'd have come up with money in one hand and cookies in the other, I'd have probably took the cookies just because I love
There's
sweets.
no probably about it.
That's
I
true,
know
Yeah.
you
girl.
would have taken
I'm
the
telling you
cookies.
right now, them cookies were good, bro.
If she could have come up
See
with cookies or a cake or anything sweet, and I would have jumped on it.
I hear you.
right.
That
That's
ain't
like
no
me.
joke,
I'd
man.
rather somebody sit and have a conversation with me for a moment, than
Right.
be like, you know what, come to my house, we'll sit on the porch. You don't have to take me to dinner. We don't have to go out to lunch. We don't have to do
Exactly.
anything that's going to cost anything.
See,
We can
that's
go
that's
down to
how
the
I
lake and
am.
sit on the dock and just enjoy a decent conversation.
That's how I am. I love the conversation, just having people to talk to and to hear from other people because I enjoy listening to people and I enjoy talking to people, which may sound very weird for someone with social anxiety, but it's true. When I get comfortable with
Mhm.
somebody, I live for it, that conversation with them and say human interaction. I think it's something that we all are supposed
We
to
all
have, but so
strive for
many of
that.
us are lacking on nowadays.
Right. Yes, Matrix. He says your faith in people is a good thing. You have to
Yeah,
have faith in people. Not everybody is hateful and self-absorbed. Not everybody's like that, and you can't treat everybody as they are.
And
Exactly.
some of
You
them
know,
use it just for a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
exactly.
There-
And
That's
here,
very
I don't
true.
want people to put up a defense. I want them to be open. I want
And
them
that's
to come here feel like they can say whatever is on their mind.
right. And that's so true that people they use it like they say if they have an insecurity or something like that, they'll throw up what comes across as say rudeness or judgment as a defense mechanism to their own insecurities. And it's human nature in a way to be that way, but it's also part of the habit of human nature that we would need to break. And a lot of people is say
If people could break this
doing
habit, it would change the world.
yes.
It
That's
would.
kind of where
It
I was
really
going
would.
with it was that. It would change a lot.
Yes.
Do what,
And
crazy girl?
you know what else would change a lot is with if people would quit turning a blind eye to things.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to
100%. Yes.
stop turning a blind eye, guys. I mean, if you see something, say something.
Yep.
Honestly, our children are
Yeah.
not these children these days. I mean, look what they're having to grow up into. Parents these days that have children have to be worried to sick, that you can't even let your children play in the backyard anymore.
And you know what? You said it right there, crazy girl, that, if you see something, say something. That right there could prevent a whole lot of these tragedies that we're having happen. Like Gabby Petito, Summer Wells, everybody that's like them in them same situations, but they just them as a reference. If somebody, for instance, the police officers that seen Gabby and knew what was going on with her, the people at the restaurant that's seen the other side of the abuse, like if more people would have said something, maybe it would have changed the outcome. We don't know, but
Yes, but
maybe if more would have
here's my
spoke up.
thought in that, you guys. Seeing something, saying something is fine, but it gets abused a whole lot. People walking
Oh
down the
yeah.
It does.
sidewalk in the middle of the night, just because they're walking down the sidewalk in the middle of the night does not mean that they're doing anything wrong, folks. So you
Oh
do
no,
not
no,
need
no.
to be calling the
You're right.
law or giving
Well,
bad things or whatever because you think that person is doing something wrong.
and another thing that they do in along
Right.
that same line, John, is they will say, okay, for instance, if it's a woman that sees it, and I hate to say this, but it's how the world is. If a woman sees, say, a domestic violence issue, it could be the woman beating the living heck out of the man, but when she calls, she's going to say that it was the man beating the woman. And
Of
then vice
course, of
versa,
course.
and that's something that needs to change
Right.
too, is be
Right.
honest about what you see. If you see the
That's
woman beating
exactly
the
what I'm trying
man,
to
be
say. Be
honest.
honest what you see, because
Yes,
how you say things to the
Yes.
cops is how things are going to go for that person, and you
yes.
could actually get that person killed by your words.
100%. And I
Right.
think that's a lot
Right.
of what happened, say,
If
in
this
that
world
one
don't,
case.
the people in this world do not get this. They are sending armed men to check on somebody that's doing nothing wrong.
Yes.
Well, at that moment, he's doing nothing wrong. But the moment the cops get involved, everything's going to go wrong because they are not there to help.
Mhm.
That's just like those people that say, I mean, they think they're doing it as a prank when, say, you watch a YouTube channel or something, they've got a live going and people find out their address and they do that swatting stuff. You can
Yeah,
get somebody killed
Yes.
doing that. They take it
people
as a
feel
joke
real
and they think, oh,
quicker.
it's just a prank, but that prank can literally end somebody's life
Right. And it
because they
does
don't.
every day.
Yeah, and people don't think about that. They think, "Oh, this will be funny," when well, it's not exactly funny when now a life is gone because of your prank.
That's
It's
right.
not
And
funny.
you
You're
did
playing with
this.
people's
You
lives.
absolutely 110% did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
that person's sitting there online playing a game or whatever,
Even just talking like say this even,
and you call the laws on them, and SWAT team kicks in their door.
Yep.
They're sitting there in their own little world, not knowing what's going on, and next thing they know, their door's being kicked in, guns are being pointed at them, and
Well, you got to think as quick as that happens, what if someone, for instance, I know here in Texas, it's a big thing. there's guns next to people sitting in their house.
Mine's
Wherever
right
they're
here
sitting,
next
they've
to
got
my
a gun
chair.
next to
Thank
them. And
you.
if they come barging in, the first reaction homeowners have here is grab their weapon. That's going to get them shot. All for what? A prank?
Right. Right.
Mine's right here by my chair. It stays
Yep.
right here by my chair. You see
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
That's mine. If you want to come kicking in my door, that's what you're going to meet.
See,
And
and
it
that's
doesn't
that.
matter who you are. I don't know who you are when you kick that door.
Exactly. And a lot of people, like them not say going off of that or whatever, they're just going to think, oh, it'd be funny to say pull a prank on, say, John, for instance. And they find out your address and they do that, and you don't know who's busting through your door. So you
You're
grab
going to
that,
get shot.
and it's going to end up getting either, say, them or you killed, all over them thinking it was a funny prank to pull because you went live. Like that's where stuff gets out of hand. It's going too far.
Right? It's way too far.
Right.
And
Yeah.
actually, our government is doing this to us, guys.
They're part of it. Yeah. They're a big part of it.
They're a massive part of it.
Hence, there needs to be more training for these officers.
Yes.
Yes.
They have to continue training, not just
Yeah.
take a
Well-
class and go, "Hey guys, you're good to go." There needs to be continuous training
Yeah.
throughout their
And
career.
And it shouldn't have to be something that has to come out of the police officer's pocket, because the training that they get now comes out of their pocket, and it
does not.
shouldn't be
No,
that
it
way.
don't. No, it don't.
Well,
Honey, no.
I know for certain cities that's how it is. Certain like departments, they make their own police officers pay for their own training.
I've never heard of that, but I'm not saying it ain't true, but I've never heard of that.
Well, no, it's not
Most
everywhere.
officers around here make over 50 to 70,000 a year. The bigger officers make over $100,000 a year, and they don't pay for any of their stuff. None of it.
Yeah, it's not everywhere. It's not over like all of, say, the country or anything. But it's some of the departments where, say, the training is the least. They have it to where like when you go to get like your vest and stuff like that, and say tasers, etc., those things, and your training as well to go with those, they make the officer pay for it out of their pocket. And I think they should change those laws to match the rest of the police departments that don't have to pay for it, because that also affects the amount of training they get too when they do it that way.
And what she's talking about, John, is the real small town.
Yes, yes.
No, I get you. Those are the
I
ones
don't-
that are usually the worst too, because they don't have
Yeah.
any oversight.
Like, don't get me wrong, the DFW area kind of plays, which, John, you know where I'm talking about. I'm sure other
Yes,
people might too.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, like, don't get me wrong, they don't pay for their own. That's paid for, because
Yep.
that's a bigger area.
Yeah,
But
it's
like,
a bigger city.
yeah, but say you get them little small towns, for instance, like what Frisco used to be. As small of a town, you blink and you're through it kind of place. That
Yeah.
that town, their police department, they were having to pay for it out of pocket. I don't
Yeah.
know if they still are since it's grown, but I know they used to have to pay for it out of their own pocket, and I don't think it should be that way.
And that's
I
where you
think
get
I got
more
to
of the-
tell you something, and I got to tell all of you something. I think Crazy Girl already knows this, but I'm an activist against law enforcement. And I'm not saying we need to get rid of them or defund them. I'm saying we need to get rid of all the ones that are bad and then retrain every last one of them are left.
Now, can I ask you this on that? Like,
Go for it.
okay. The way to ask this on a live though.
That's the only way you know.
I'm trying. I don't want to get her channel in trouble or something, or have them brought over here. The ant people, I don't know how to, Reja, stop. It's like BLM, and then they have another group, ant something.
Yes.
Okay. Are you
Yes,
part of that at all?
You know who they're
No.
talking
No.
Okay. Okay. And see,
No.
now then I agree with you on what you're saying on it. I'm fully on that side. I'm not for defunding them, but I am
Guys, I'm not for having the law taken away. We need law and order in this country.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we need
Okay.
officers in this country that know the law.
Exactly.
They're
Okay.
supposed to be upholding the law. They don't know the law.
Yeah, then I'm on the
Not
same
one
page
of
as
them.
you with that. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't part of that other thing, because now
Hell
that,
no.
yeah,
Those
because
guys
that's
can
a
keep
separate
those beliefs
agenda
to
that I don't
themselves.
agree with.
I like that. No, 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 no.
Okay, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't treat you any differently if you were, just simply because I've already say talked to you on here, and I know, like, I don't know you personally, but from what I do know, you're a good person. So I
Pretty
wouldn't
much
say
do,
change
because
the way
I'm an
I
open
treat
book.
you. Do what?
I said you pretty much know me as well as you need to by now, because I'm an open book. I don't hide it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And
he
same
is.
here. The way that I am right here is just the way that I am. If you were to meet me on the street, this is me, you know?
Yeah, this is exactly who I am and the way I would talk to you.
Same here.
Our interactions would be the same here as it would
And
be
me
on the
too.
street.
Right.
Me too.
See, and that's what I like about it, crazy girls. We're all just, we're ourselves. This is really who we are. If we run into each other, it's going to be the same as it is right now because we're actually being ourselves. It's not one character on here, but then if we meet in person, it's, oh, well, who is this person? You know, who is this side of you? You know?
I'm being attacked.
Right, right. So am I. So am I.
I've got my
That's
wife
about,
attacking me and my dogs.
no,
And Linda, that's where you gotta
so
Linda
watch it.
cute.
says he's my baby.
Sorry, I got stars in my eyes over the puppy dog.
Puppy dog.
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah,
huge
they're my
animal
munch
lover, so
baby.
anytime I see a puppy dog, I go completely off subject.
Puppy dog.
Oh,
Right on the
how
bottom lip.
precious.
I just got done licking his butt too. Thanks, Earl. That's gonna be the first thing in my mind now every time he comes and licks me from the other room.
Does it taste like butt?
I don't know. I've never tasted butt, so I would not know.
I was fixing to
John.
say.
Yeah. I never got into that whole trend that started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw,
no,
Either.
no.
Mhm.
he's
Thank
a
you.
little cutie.
Yeah, Linda, where I live in a small
Aw.
gated lake community, and I have no cops that come out here. The only cops that come out here is there's one that visits someone else on the other side of the lake. So every now and again they'll pass by my house. That's it. But
Y'all
I
make a
don't
good
have
couple,
we
by
don't
the
have cops
way,
that
might
come
I
out.
add.
Don't they?
What?
I said, y'all make a good looking couple, might I add.
Okay. That's
Hey,
funny.
take it
He's like,
as you
oh,
will, but y'all do. Just seeing y'all there, crazy girl had it on y'all.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's my big baby. Look at him just lay there. He's like, I want to
This,
be right where mom is all the
of course,
time.
you know, this
That's
is
what I
Mad
love
Max. You
about
know him.
boxers and Saint Bernards and stuff is they've always got that, like, their face kind of looks like they're sad when they're not, but it's so cute.
It is.
Yeah. He knows he's not even supposed to be in this room. But
No,
mom lets him get away with it
yeah,
because
that's what he's
he's a
doing. Then
mama's
he's
boy.
looking, yeah, he's looking at mom saying she's letting me get away with it.
Yeah. That's it.
He's
Blowing
adorable.
clouds, making clouds over there.
Yep.
Like a yeah, he just look. That's all he wanted to do was come in here and lay down next to me.
Well,
That is
yeah.
the exact same thing that Raja does. She gets up on the bed, and because I'm one of those, I'm not gonna lie, I am one of those that I allow my dogs in the bed and sleep with me. I know some people are completely
Those are
against
my
it, but I
dogs
know
in
my
the
dogs are clean. So, because my
Right.
dogs, I keep them bathed and all that. So yes, I let them on my bed and they sleep with me. They are the kind that are so spoiled that when it comes to bedtime, they let you know by getting up and they'll come and like nudge the covers, like, hey, let me under the covers. I want to snuggle and go to sleep. And that's what they do. They'll go under the covers, turn around, come back with just their head out of the covers, and they go to sleep cuddling us.
Yep. That's these guys
Yeah.
right here.
That's the way I
Look,
think
I
it
got
should be. I don't know. I mean, I know everybody doesn't like it, but me
I got
personally, that's my life.
Hey, these
Yeah,
dogs are
I
just
got
like my
3 big
kids.
dogs, 1 medium. They're not sleeping with me. No. I can't move. They
Right.
gotta be
Now, see
right
that I
on,
understand.
like, 1 in front, 1 behind, and I'm like, "No, y'all got your own rooms with your own beds.
Right. Now,
Go in
see, in
there
that
and sleep."
situation, if they were, say, making it to where I wouldn't be able to, say, be comfortable, then yeah, I would say no.
Yeah,
But with it just
Yeah.
being just her and then the little one, the ones I showed y'all on the live, with
Right.
it just being
Yeah.
them, and we have a California king bed, so it's plenty big for, say, us and then them. But if there was more than one of Raja, there's no way.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Oh, no.
I
Yeah.
don't care how big the bed is. When the dog gets so big, the way they move around in their sleep, it would not work.
yeah, we couldn't
Yep.
do another queen
Yeah.
bed.
The only
No.
problem I have with my two little dogs sleeping
See, and
with us is wanting to sleep underneath me.
I just
Yeah.
I just have a queen size bed because I live in a tiny house.
Right.
Yeah, mine's a
So,
queen size bed too.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason I've got this bed at all is I took this bed over because my
Playroom.
mom got it. When my mom got the bed for herself, she didn't realize how big it was going to be. And so
yeah.
I took it from her. Once she got it, she was like, this bed is way too big. I need to get me another one. So when she got her another one that was smaller, she didn't know what to do with this one. And I was like, well, I'll take it, you know? So she went ahead and gave it to me, and I've had it ever since. It's the only reason I've got a bed this big. If it would have been me going out and getting a bed, I would not have one this big. Because this thing is huge. It takes up so much room in the bedroom. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I had a
Oh,
smaller bed.
I wish I
had
had a
one,
bigger
a
bed just where I
California
could make some laps around it.
Yeah.
in the
Well,
other house, but
well, and hang
here
on.
it
You what,
wouldn't
crazy
fit.
girl?
Too big. I said I had a California king in my other house, but when we moved here, it wouldn't fit. It was
Right.
just way too big.
They
So,
are.
I miss it.
And see, the only reason that I like this one is, well, of course, you know, sleeping with the fur babies, but also with Earl's height, it makes it better on him because even on this bed from the headboard to the footboard, his feet are still touching that footboard and going over it. So
Right.
if I got a smaller
I,
bed, he'd hang off of it.
Well, that's what he
yeah.
gets for being a giant.
Yeah, I
Right.
can't do them little twin beds. I half the bottom of my legs are hanging off them little twin beds.
I feel like that with my shoulders, bro. Those little singles. It feels
Yeah.
like my shoulders are hanging off each side of it.
Linda, I love bulldogs. They are so
I
adorable.
was just
I've,
gonna
al-
say the I was gonna say the same thing.
I've always wanted one,
Yep.
but everybody talks about their health issues and how they're expensive as far as, say, maintaining and keeping up with them like that.
They have breathing problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have
But they are
respiratory
so
issues.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've always wanted one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shit,
And
yeah.
my mom's always had chihuahuas. She's got TT now, and she thinks I'm her sister. Well, I am her sister, but
Well, you
my
are. It
mom
matters.
would say, "Hey, that's my mom's daughter, and that's my sister. That's what we call TT. That's my little sister."
Y'all do
I
the
had a
same
little
thing that
brother
we do
too, and
with y'all do the same thing that we do with ours, where we, like, my mom's dogs, I refer to them as like my siblings, like they're like my sisters and brothers and stuff. And then like my grandma's, like, they're like family. We refer to them as if they're a member of the family.
Exactly. And I always do that.
yeah,
These are my kids.
Yeah, that's how mine are. That's my
yeah.
fur babies.
Yep. And,
Well, that's like
and then
this
God
big guy
forbid
over
anybody
here.
ever try to hurt them.
Oh, if anybody ever tried to
This
hurt
big,
mine,
That's
oh,
up in the fucking tree. That's all I got to say.
they would have a fury unleashed on them like nobody's business that they've tried to come after my babies.
That's right. I hear that.
that's like this boy here. I still call him my little man. He's still my
Yep.
baby.
You know, we
Well,
Biggest
used
he
to
is.
have a
little
little
dude.
chihuahua that was called Little Man because we called him that so much. The only thing he would answer to was Little Man because that's what we always called him. We said, "Hey, my little man," and it got said so much by everybody that just became his name, was Little Man.
Right. Well,
He was a
Max
sweetheart.
Yeah.
knows his name, but he also knows when I call him little dude, I'm talking about him.
Right.
and ZZ's little girl.
Yeah, they know. They know when they're being talked about. It's the way your tone is and stuff when you speak about them, they can sense that.
Oh, they're both sitting here staring at me like right now, like, what are you talking about? What?
Yeah.
They heard you say their name. So
Yeah.
Yep.
they're like, hey, you're talking about
She has
that's
a
like
little
the
kitten,
Loki.
and she has been very healthy. She is 6 human years now. My doggies are best friends. Lazy as hell too.
They're supposed to be
Yep.
lazy.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
dogs
like
dogs have
Loki.
got it
I'm
made. They
gonna
don't have to do anything but be themselves. And I think people
yeah,
could
I'm
learn a
gonna say
lesson from this.
after about it was about a month that I had him. Because I try to take him when I go places if I
Right.
can, if they're allowed to. But
Right.
I was taking him to the bank with me because all the ladies up there love the boxers. And, they've seen them since they were babies going up there. So I was coming back from the bank, and my neighbor down the road had stopped me, and she was like, hey, what are you doing? Well, he's sitting in the passenger side, and she comes up to the driver's side window. He physically got over me, put his arms on the door handle armrest, and growled at her. And I'm like,
Uh,
dude, no way. You can't do that.
Yeah.
She's an elderly lady, and we're not doing that.
it's like, get your
But
butt
See,
back
just
here.
for him to be
that's
that protective.
but that's like how like Raja is. She is a service dog, and she's my service dog because I'm epileptic, and so she's somewhat she can go with me wherever I go. I could take her with me and stuff, but she also has that same tendency where with certain people in certain situations, she will like come get right over me in the car and she'll kind of growl. And she's never bit anybody or
Right.
anything or like tried to attack, but she is very protective as well. And I think it's a mix
Right.
between her being the service dog, trying to protect, say, my health, but also just the bond that we have in general. And dogs can
Yes.
sense things on people too. And so a lot of times I wonder, well, is she sensing something on them that I haven't yet?
They know.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
We've
know.
only had
They know.
Yeah.
we've only had one issue where we've had to really watch her, and the guy I was
Well,
talking about,
we later found out why though,
yeah,
is because of what he was doing.
the guy I was talking about I was used to work with that we seen that plane fly over us that night. Is the same guy.
Hmm.
Me and him used to hang out, say on a regular basis, and he come over here to the house, and we were say playing with the green hearts and just hanging out. And at the time, we had just got the VR set up on the PlayStation because she was wanting the VR, so we
Because
got it.
that's my vacation away without having to leave the house. It's a free vacation.
And
Yeah.
he he come over and was trying it out, and she had been fine with him. And that day, I
Well,
don't know if it was because he put that headset on his head or what.
no, she wasn't growling or anything, but she was watching him very
Yeah,
closely. And then this day when he came over, she started growling at him, and I had to end up putting her in the kennel because of the way that she like walked right up to him and growled and was like in his face. And I
She
said,
was letting
"Uh-uh."
you know right now, you fuck up, I'm tearing you up.
Well, come to find out, this person had been into other things other than just, doing the green hearts. And she sensed that on him.
Right?
And it was something we didn't sense at the time, but we ended up finding out later on because he came over one time, and which was about a few months later, he came back over and he had some green hearts with him. And we started to partake in that. Well, come to find out, like 5 minutes after we finished, me and Earl got very sick, and I ended up having a panic attack. Earl ended up getting physically sick,
So
and
did he
he
go
had
through
left
that
it
shit?
this time. It had gotten sprayed. We came to find out from testing and stuff that it had gotten sprayed with y'all have heard of fentanyl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it
So he's
had been
trying to kill
sprayed with
people.
yeah, exactly.
well,
And
I don't know if
that's
it's who he
what
got
we
it
ended
from.
up finding out was that it had been sprayed with that, and so we were being like drugged by it and overdosed by it because we don't do that kind of stuff. So of course, you know, we get that in our systems, it overdoses. And that's what she was sensing on him. I will say to this day that that's what she was picking up on. Do what?
I was asking Earl if he has seen this guy since then.
No.
Nope. Ever since he did that, we haven't heard from him, seen him, or anything.
But we quit really hanging out because he had got with another woman. He had met this woman and got with her, and just kind of, you know how people are, say when they meet somebody new, they just kind of disappear.
Right.
So no, since then, and that was a while ago when that happened.
But I don't think that it was just her that made him disappear. I think it was he knew what he had done. That's what I think it was, because it was right after that he left.
So too, and that pisses me
yeah.
off.
And we never heard anything from him after that. I think it had to do with that. Oh my gosh. I just looked at the screen and how adorable.
I know. This is Linda Marie's dogs. Let me go back to the. She sent a really good one too of them too.
Linda, they're precious.
Oh,
now,
I
how
love
did
that
you get them
one.
to sit there that long? That's what I want to know, Linda.
I know that one here.
I love the pink nose on the brown one.
Yeah, that one that you're pointing at, crazy girl. That one looks like the one that I had. I told you about the brick wall. That's exactly what. That's what she looked like. Was that right there? But she was an applehead Chihuahua, but she looked like that.
That's what Max is. He's an applehead Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I think that's what
John,
TT is.
Was John on for that when I was explaining about her?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It was a applehead Chihuahua that I had gotten that you couldn't take her into a brick home. Because, okay, like on our property, we've got the brick house, and then next to it is just the regular house. It's not brick or anything. And okay, well, we had to take her to that house because she would not be around the brick, because the person that we got her from was a man that had abused her. He threw her up against a brick wall, and it ended up breaking her sternum to the point where, and he did it so much to where her sternum was protruding, to where anytime you pet her stomach, you feel her sternum sticking up. And so she wouldn't, that's what I mean by the brick wall, is she was afraid of any brick because of what he had done to her.
Is somebody using power tools?
No, you hearing me cough?
I was fixing to say Earl's enjoying green hearts and coughing, but
it sounds like you squeezed the trigger on a drill.
Hey, you guys need to remind me to get myself off solo. I don't know. I'm not even paying attention. I was looking at chat, not at myself.
Hey, that's okay. We don't mind. All they're seeing with us is icons anyway.
That's okay.
Well, if they want to see me, here it is. Hello, how are you? How you like it? I'm upside down.
Just so you guys know.
There we go. I'm here. Earl.
Yay.
You gotta lean into it. There he is.
Earl.
Hi.
I think I'm gonna hang out like this for.
No, it won't. My cam was off, and I went and snuck in and checked on my dogs. They're in big trouble, as you can tell.
Yeah, massive trouble.
Yeah, they tore up a pillow. Now I have stuffing all over their room and halfway in my living room.
Well, if I can get my phone to sit, we'd be in good condition here.
Turn it upside down.
Oh, I'm afraid to do that. When I start turning my phone and all that, it ends up going, like, it'll kick me completely out sometimes. It'll freeze. It does its own thing. I just had to restart it today when I woke up. I had to completely restart my phone.
I just think it'd be funny if one was upside down, me being sideways and her being straight.
Where's Princess at?
Princess, where you at?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to text him at some point and go, hey, dude, what is your, what? I want to know.
Tell him to quit being a
Be honest
princess
with
and get back up here. And tell him I said it.
I haven't seen him since I think it
Oh,
was the day that Mr. Paranormal got on here. That's the last time I think I seen him.
I think that scared him, honestly.
It might have. Well, and I mean no
I'm
disrespect
gonna
in
cover
saying this
her
at all, so
daughter,
I hope it's not taken
but
that way. But
yeah,
I think it's something to do with I don't, like I said, I don't know if he believes or not, which is his own thing. That's perfectly fine. But I don't know if
What
it
is
might
that,
just
baby
be
girl?
that's
Oh,
cute.
it's a
what?
doggy. There it is.
Oh,
For some
Yeah,
reason,
I'm
when I first
covering
come up, I
her
couldn't tell
daughter
what it was.
of it, and I'm covering up her daughter
Yeah, a
just
cute
out
little
of
pupper
respect.
sleeping away.
right.
Oh, the little one's right there. No wonder he's sleeping right there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, out of respect, I covered her daughter.
But
So,
John, you might be
I
right
love
on that.
puppies.
On
Say again.
it might, I said you might be right on that. It might have scared him because I don't know if he's is a skeptic or believes or doesn't or something, but it with the
It's
only
hard
reason
to
I would
tell
think
with him.
skeptic is because of how much he says the programming and stuff, like
Right.
he's
Yes.
going against, it's I don't know if it's because it scares him or he just doesn't believe or what it is. I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna assume until say he puts it out there, but you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, I mean no disrespect
Yeah.
in saying that. So
No, because he's a cool dude.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, he cracks me up.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Well, and
He
again,
gets
the
on here.
panel is for all, even him being a skeptic and saying what he says
oh, this
about
thing.
the
Uh-oh.
the
What it just
I the items that we use, the paranormal tools that we use.
goodness. It keeps sliding. I'm sorry, I'm listening. I'm just having a
Oh,
malfunction
you're
over
good.
here with my.
Just
Oh,
let it fall.
you're
Just say it.
good.
There we go.
But
Okay. No, I started
I'm
we
gonna
trying to
shake
Google
it.
search
I'm gonna
our
shake
words
it.
and stuff.
Did it fall
Yeah,
down?
that's what I feel like doing
but
to it.
we
I was trying to make it fall down.
right,
Dang it.
but we accept his opinions. We accept his opinions, his thoughts, and his theories as well. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
as
I have
long
no problem
as
with
it
that.
stays respectful and he respects our everybody expects ours as well. You
Right.
know, and I like hearing his theories on you know, the mechanicals of what we use.
Right.
You know, it's really interesting to hear some of it. He knows a lot more about that stuff than I would as far as the internals.
Uh,
Yes.
So knowing her
maybe.
is nice to know.
Do
Yeah.
what, John?
I said maybe.
Yeah, I don't know shit about computer tech type stuff like that.
Well, I'm not a computer tech at all, but I'm a mechanical engineer, and it seems to me that it's all easy.
Yeah.
You know, I learned this stuff when I was a little kid.
Well, I mean, I can
Yes.
say I can use a computer, don't get me wrong, but as far as being all technical with it and say knowing how to hack into stuff or say get into stuff or say make my own programs, I
Oh
ain't
no,
got the
I can't
foggiest
do that.
idea.
But I can take a computer apart and
Right.
fix it.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that. Well, I mean, I might if it's just say like replacing a if it's a simple object as far as say four screws and you lift the thing up, unplug the wire, plug new wire in, and set it back down and screw it in. Yeah, I could probably do that. But as far as
Well,
knowing like the boards and stuff and how all that stuff works, nah, you got me there.
it's pretty simple, my man. It ain't hard at all. If you understand highways and byways, you understand the computer board.
That
Well, I
that's just
don't.
one thing I
So
never
I'll
played
just
with.
listen to everybody else talk about it. So, because I like learning.
That's where I'm at. I don't understand it
So
when it
people
comes to
should
that.
just listen and not react to it.
I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you, if I don't know squat about something and the internals of some of this stuff, I have no freaking clue. So hearing even when he explains it to me, I'm still going, I still have no idea what in the hell you're talking about. But
Same
okay,
here.
I got you. You know,
Well,
but
not
it's
everybody's meant
still
to
fun
understand
to
it anyway.
learn.
Right.
Yeah, because we all understand different perspectives or whatever of each item that we have. We all have
Well,
different understandings of each part.
that all
So when
comes
we
with
all throw it together,
different experiences in life. My
yes.
experience in life when I was growing
So
up and young was with my father building race cars.
Yeah.
right,
So at a very young age, I'm out there with men that have been doing this for 30, 40 years at this moment, out there working on race cars. And I know just about as much about it as they do. But I'm only 6 or 7 years old here.
right,
And that's because at a young age, I was there doing it.
Yeah, it was just the
Right.
environment you were brought up in.
Right. My father was an abusive, drunk alcoholic that drove a truck, and that's how he made his money. But then he would come home and build race cars. That was his whole life.
Yeah.
That,
Right.
that was
I got involved in this because I was small enough to fit in holes that he wasn't small enough to fit in.
well. No, you say that. That's basically how my dad was. With he wasn't abusive, but say if I needed my ass beat, he'd beat my ass.
Oh
Yeah.
no, this old man would come
Right.
home from off the truck, get started on drinking, and then he was ready to beat on somebody that was either my mother or me.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, and you say that to where what I got tortured with when I was a kid, I say tortured with, is he would come home, say Friday evening.
Real quick. Is it okay if I smoke a cigarette on here? Do I need to like hit the thing?
Oh yeah.
That's your
No, you
that's
do,
your preference.
girl. You do you.
Okay,
was
I
just
don't
You
mind
guys
people
do
seeing me
you, man.
smoke. I just wanted to make sure y'all were okay with it because I
No,
don't mind
you're
people seeing me smoke.
Well, give me a second, and
no,
I'll
you're
smoke one
good.
with you. Just
It's
so you
just,
know.
All right.
I'm sorry. It's just a me thing, not a you guys
Okay.
thing. It's a me thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just okay. So, for instance, a lot of the times when I smile, I will kind of do this.
Oh,
I have
same
a
here.
bad tooth in the front that I had a root canal done on,
Same
and it
here.
has never been right after that.
Yeah, I've
They
been
said that
very
they were
uncomfortable with.
going to.
I get very
They
uncomfortable
said
with
they were
like
going to
my teeth
inject
and
it with.
stuff too from it.
No, what I
Yeah,
was saying, John.
they said they were going to inject it with a whitener, and I don't. They said that they did, but it either didn't work or they didn't do it. So it's a little
Right.
discolored, and I'm like, you guys, I'm
Yeah.
kind of sometimes I get self-conscious, so I'm like,
Hey, I'm the same way.
oops.
I'm the same way. You'll notice that when I start to laugh, I'll do this all the time.
Yeah.
No,
People will be
Cigarette
like, why
smoker
don't
is
you
yours.
smile in your pictures? I'll be like, if you seen why I don't smile, you would understand why I don't smile in pictures.
Yeah.
But I do smile. Don't get me wrong. I
All
do
right, Ashley,
smile.
mine's ready.
no, where I got tortured, John, is
Yeah.
it wasn't like abuse. It was more he would come in, say Friday evening, start drinking, and then
Trying to
say,
get it where we can both be on here, and I don't know how to turn. I'm trying to figure this
"Oh,
camera
you're
out. Oh, there you go.
good."
There you are.
He'd come in there at say 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier, and wake me up and have me come sit in the living room while he's sitting there drinking and he's just rambling all night to where I'm sitting there falling asleep and my stepmom's coming out telling him, look, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. He's passed out. Let the boy go to bed. And he's just sitting there rambling about some nonsense I mean, yeah,
You know,
some of the shit stuck with me, and it was, hey,
somebody to ramble on with.
I wouldn't even be
I would
saying
take that
nothing.
as an
Yeah.
honorable thing because he picked you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that used to drive me crazy because it just, I'd be in there asleep, and he'd come in there and wake me up just to start rambling.
Right? But now, today, would you do it again if you had the opportunity to, knowing what you know now?
That's a hard one. Because I've told you, say, our relationship, how we are.
Yeah, I understand this, but that's why I asked the question.
I
There's a
don't
lot,
know.
there's a lot of things with my father I don't want to ever have to repeat again. But there is some things like out there in the shop working on the car, learning something. I would love to repeat that stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I used to do that with him all the time. Say, just maintaining the vehicles and stuff like that. Or my uncle would have a problem with one of his cars, and he'd be over there, and they'd be working in the garage on them, and I'd go out there with him. Yeah, they're say drinking 4 or 5 cases of beer and a
Right.
bottle of Crown, but I'd still be out there learning.
Oh, really? You don't
Right.
say.
You
Right.
interrupt me.
And you would do this again if you had the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a bunch of shit. Like I'm, when it comes to working on cars, I'm all game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Raja.
Britt says it's 7:30 p.m. here in the UK. I'm sitting here with a glass of red wine. Hick hick, laugh out loud.
Hey.
Oh, it's
And
yeah, it's 1:40 here
yeah,
Yep.
p.m.
That's what it is
So
here.
yeah. So guess what?
I commend this
We could
guy.
be
He's still
having one.
there.
It is after 5 o'clock in her area. They say
Right.
Yeah.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yep.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. But I think for now, I'm going to stick with my coffee. But I'll tell you what, a glass of wine doesn't sound bad tonight.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, you talk me into it again.
Your ears on camera. Look.
I know, right?
Let's lay down. There.
Oh, let me.
There you go. Now they see you.
Aw.
Now they see you. Yeah,
Yep.
now they see you, girl. There you go.
She don't
Yeah,
want to
this
be.
is Bob. No, she's shy. She's super shy. She's the one you'll hear yip out of nowhere. She does that if she wants attention. You'll hear her do this high pitched yip.
Yeah, that's this one back
Right.
here behind me. That's a
Yeah.
ZZ.
oh, and she'll get right up in your ear and do it. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
I could kill you.
she's made my ears ring plenty of times. She'll get right up in my ear and then yip, and it's like, oh
You know what
no.
she's saying, right? Damn it, pay attention to me.
Yep, that's exactly. And like Rogo is real big about like if I'm watching something on YouTube, she'll come and lay right in front of the phone, like, no, pay attention to me, not the video.
Yeah, that ain't important,
Right,
Mom.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You did my bug. Yeah. Your mama's
So I'm
bug.
going to go till about 2 o'clock and then I'm going to get off here. I got to get a.
Are you sure about that?
Man, I got to go. Yes, I have to be sure about that today.
Okay, at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna change the subject.
Hey, John, she's on the roll. She already made sure she didn't have any toilet paper rolls out, so she's on the roll.
I'm trying to get you in
Yeah,
here.
we didn't hear no
did.
threats. Just more of an ass kicking.
And my husband gets off work at 2 o'clock. So I figured if I got offline at 2 o'clock, I could go get the totes I need to get, pull them in the house real quick, because I got so much crap to take down to the flea market. I still got to mark half of it. So I've got so much to do. And then meet him tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the flea market. Get that all taken care of. And hopefully that it will be done.
See, I know the flea market.
I go every other week. I try.
See,
I can't go to flea markets. I spend too much money.
I grew up in the flea market business. That's what my granddad did. He would
Mhm.
throughout the week, he would get stuff ready to go. And then on Friday, it was get everything loaded up and ready. And then, well, no, Thursday was get everything ready. And then Friday morning at like 4 o'clock, we were in the van and headed to the Denton flea market to set everything up at the 380 flea market in Denton. And we would stay there
Right.
all weekend and do everything, to the point where he was there for so many years that the breakfast there got called the DL's
Yeah.
breakfast, just because that was his name. Everybody called him DL, and so it got called the DL's breakfast.
Right.
Yeah,
What's every year
Right.
here
Right.
we have swap meets of motorcycle parts, antique parts, and stuff like that every year. And every time I go there, I buy a bunch of parts and spend a bunch of money, and then I'm in trouble for the rest of the year with my wife.
yeah. And see, her
Right.
granddad found out it wasn't good to hand her money because every time he'd hand her $20,
Yeah.
she'd come back with a rabbit.
I did.
with a rabbit.
Yeah, there was like
Now
3
you
weekends in a row. He handed me $20 and he said, "Go get what you want." I took that literal, go get what I want. So I went and found a bunny rabbit that was being sold for $20. So I got me a bunny rabbit. Next
Yeah, my
weekend I did
daughter
the
Trish
same
done
thing.
something similar like that. It was with a fish.
By the third bunny rabbit, he told me, "You're not getting any more $20 bills because you're going to keep bringing animals back home."
Yep. Yeah, my daughter was that way with fish.
think that I did it with chickens. I had 2
Oh, shit.
chickens. They were called Big and Rich. That's when Big and Rich
Big
came
and
out.
rich. Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
The band
Yeah, that
Big
is
and
kind of
Rich. Yeah. So I had 2 of them, and I named one Big and one Rich. I lived in the city, mind you guys. So at night, I kept them in a huge dog kennel, and
We've all lived in the city here, girl.
during the day, I would let them run. And yeah, my son hugged one so tight he broke its neck, and the other one I had to give it to my brother who lived in the country because I was just getting in trouble. So I
Oh,
couldn't get in
wow.
trouble in the city.
That's easy to do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know,
They can
right?
get picky about it.
Yeah, Earl.
They
Yeah.
can. Well, it's okay if you got decent neighbors, but if you don't, because chickens are actually good to have in your yard, they keep the bugs away.
We got
Yeah.
chickens
You know, they
surrounding
thin
us.
down the bugs, if any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
So if you had
And our
decent
chickens out
neighbors, it
here
probably
are
wouldn't
free
have been a
range, so they
problem.
run
But
everywhere.
when how you were talking about you're in a gated community, have you ever had them come out and like measure the
yeah,
height of your grass?
Told them if they done
let
that.
me tell you something. Guys. Let me tell you something about here. They know me. I don't hide anything. I'm going to sound like a real bitch right now, guys.
Well, I
I'm
want to
sorry.
know
You're
how
going
they're
to say
going to measure
completely.
something when I stick that thing up their ass.
Y'all
That's
are
all I
about
got
to
to say.
You're about to see a different side of me. When we talk about this
I'm
gated
ready.
community, we're going to see a different side of me. This place is the most effed up place I have ever freaking lived. These people, I feel like I live in a mental ward and people have stopped taking their medication. One thing I will tell you is they will not step foot on my property. They know better.
Yeah, the
Because
one thing
this is
around
not
here
a
that I have
homeowner
problem with, they know better.
This is a property owners association. So they cannot come, and until they're paying my bills,
I'm the property
paying my
association here.
living, they are not going to come and tell me what I can and can't do on my property. First
Damn
of all,
straight.
you need to clean up your own yard before you come to my yard. I'm not saying that I mean literally, but
Right.
I get you.
you need to watch their doorstep before they are watching mine.
Exactly. You know, that's like
You know,
here.
a lot of people don't understand that. If you can't clean your own shit up, don't expect everybody else to do it too.
Yeah, that's like here.
Well,
We
they
have this one lady that'll come out and she'll look at the cattle and she says, because which I swear this lady has no experience with dealing with cattle at all.
And
Because
she
she'll look
probably
at the
does
female.
not.
Mhm.
Well, she'll look at the female cattle after they've like just had a calf, and she doesn't realize that when a female cat or a cow has a calf, they look skinny. They look like they're not eating
Yeah.
well
Yes.
because at first, all of that was the baby. And she
Yep.
doesn't realize that, and she
Yes.
says that she comes around after that, and she says that those cows are not being taken care of properly, and it's like, no, you don't understand. She's just had a baby. That
What we
weight
were
will come
talking
right
about
back
Right.
on.
earlier, guys, how these people that are in the enforcement world don't know the damn laws.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's
So
about
again,
what this
what are
lady
they
is.
enforcing? They're enforcing their feelings, not what
Yeah,
the law is.
yeah, and that's how this lady is.
Right.
Like she doesn't seem to understand how it works with the cattle, but yet she
She
wants to
don't
say,
know anything about it. That's why.
yeah. And it's like,
Right.
well, they're just come. I even tell her, I said, come back in a few months, you'll see. She'll have the weight back on her because she's just had a baby, and you can even see the calf
Right.
right next to her, and it's like, you see how new that is.
And you
Yeah.
try to
Right.
explain this to them, and it's like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
It's like,
Can't explain it
Exactly.
to them because they think what they know is correct and you're stupid.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
That's what I'm
And it's
dealing
like,
with here in these people that
yeah,
live in this
Well, that's like
this
I said. If you're
area.
gonna come in my yard and do that, you better learn how to measure through your ass.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna take that
Well,
measure stick and stick it up your ass, and I'm not playing about that.
Yep.
Don't do it,
they
people.
they pick they pick and choose who has
Yeah.
to abide by the red book laws out
Oh, of
here,
Well, they
course.
which
better
are
pick
not
on who's gonna become the
enforceable in the
ruler.
first place.
Right.
Well, needless to say, when I first moved here, they're all like, oh, hey, you need to be on the board. You need to be on the board. We need fresh meat on the board. And I'm like, I don't
There's
want to
your
be on the
meat.
board. You guys wouldn't like me on the board. You would not. I said, because I'm not that yes girl. I'm not going to comply with everything that you all
Right.
say
I
or
got
want to
called up
vote
for
on.
trial
I'm not
duty
going
one
to.
time, and I went there being, I was supposed to. I went, but when there was a question asked from the judge, he asked me, "Do you believe in the law?" And I stood right up and I said, "No, sir, I don't." And before I could even get it out of my mouth, he had told me to leave already.
Wow.
Mhm.
So I informed him on how much they are fucking idiots, and then I got thrown out and get put in jail for attempted court.
Wow.
Right.
He says, "You
No,
don't talk
but
to me like that,
I
son,
ended
in
up
my courtroom." I said, "Sir, we're here with truth, right?
right.
We're supposed to be picking or talking the truth, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, everything I said is true."
Yep.
Right.
And let me tell you something, a
Well,
judge don't like that shit.
right. Well, I ended up getting on the board. And, like I said, I wasn't that one. So they knew that they had made a mistake by voting me on because I wasn't agreeing with them.
Right.
Next thing I know, we're at a meeting one night, and one of the secretary's husband, we all decided to take a cigarette break. So we were all stepping outside. I walked outside and heard the secretary's husband calling everybody MFers, dumb MFers.
Wow.
I lost my mind. I said,
Yeah.
if that's the way you talk about people, could you do me a favor and not do that in public? If that's the way you want to talk, do it inside the vicinity of your own home. If you want to call your wife those names because she's on the board too, then do that in the privacy of your own home. Don't do
Right.
that out here.
Yeah.
He got real lippy with me, and I was going to walk away. I swear I was walking down the steps of the pavilion to get in my car and leave. He
Right.
popped off. He popped off quick. I spun around, went to this little chihuahua looking thing with a Napoleon complex.
He stretched his lip up over his
Little
head for
man
him.
syndrome. I stuck my fingers in his face and I said, say another word. Please say another
Yep.
word to me.
Yeah, I want you to kind of thing.
I was ready. And I'm going to tell you,
Yep.
I was so mad that when I was pointing, I'm shaking. Say
Yeah.
another word. Say another one. He
Yep.
shut up quick.
Oh, I
And then
bet.
went and told everybody I was the biatch. Look, man, I'm not typically like that. I'm not
Yeah.
typically like that. Typically, I'll just continue to walk and let you show your character to everybody.
Yeah.
This
No,
time,
you
Yeah,
can
I
tell
wouldn't.
you can tell you're the type that would rather walk away from a situation than to have the confrontation, but that you're also not afraid to have the confrontation if need be.
Yes, that's it. If you want to
Right.
act like an ass clown in public in front of all these people, but please don't let me stop you. But as
Yeah.
far as my reactions, I'm going
Yeah, see,
home.
I'm somebody that would encourage that. Go for it. Keep doing it. Come on, hurry up. Do some more.
Yeah.
No,
Nah, it's
I'm
I
not going to
stay.
waste my time sitting in a jail cell having to pay a fine for
That don't
someone
mean I'm gonna be in a
who
jail cell. That just
it
means I'm
doesn't
creating
matter to
good
them.
content for other people.
And see, I'm a calm
No,
person, but
that's
I got
just,
my triggers.
Yeah.
I've learned how to control mine too,
and he
bro.
hit my trigger that day. He hit my trigger that day. And see, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying about this channel with us. We have all different, ideas about how you would handle that situation.
And of
And we're
course,
all
and it's
still
to be
here having
expected.
that conversation.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
Yep.
Oh, I got my triggers. I
You know,
straight told a dude one time he was standing right next to his mom. I told
Hey,
him I'd lay him
I
out
don't
quicker, and he came out that snatch,
That's right. That's
and
fucking right.
and she did not like it at all.
yep,
and it
No.
was my
yep.
fault that the whole thing happened because it started off we were at the same McDonald's that I got my cat from, and
Mhm.
this kid was standing outside. He was like, I call him a kid. He was like 17, and he had his baby with him, and that's what he was doing was he was picking his baby up from his ex, and it was the ex's mom and her new boyfriend. Well, when they showed up and
Yeah.
gave him his baby, the boyfriend, like the new boyfriend of his ex, was trying to fight him while he's holding his baby in the baby carrier. And I was sitting inside
Oh,
and seeing
Lord.
this taking place. And I got triggered because no one else was doing anything. So I got up and went out there and I
That's
said,
got
Right.
to
hey, get
trigger me
inside
as
with your
well.
baby. And I told him, I said, go inside with your baby. And he said, well, it's okay. I said, no, get
Yes.
inside with your baby. And then I told them, I
Right.
said, y'all need to leave. You know, this isn't the time or place for this. Y'all need to leave. And he's got a baby and you're trying to jump him with a baby. Well, about
That's
that
just
Right,
that's
time,
just
right.
a sign of
someone
a coward.
inside tells Earl that his wife is outside, you know, yelling at people, which that's the only information he got. He didn't know why or anything. He comes outside, and then that's when all that started with him and that mom.
Yeah, and I just
Yep.
straight told him y'all need to leave, and little
Uh-huh.
dude kept running up talking about hit me, and I told him I'll lay you out quicker than you came out your mama's snatch.
Yep.
And she
Yeah.
go, I'm going to get my husband. I don't care who you go get.
Yeah.
I'll put him to sleep either way.
Me and about 10 of my other buddies that ride together were out riding one day, and this little old woman and a little Suzuki sidekick decided to run us off the road. Well, of course, that wasn't a smart thing to do because there's 10 of us. We can damn sure surround you up and keep you from going anywhere.
Yep.
Well, but she decided to stop
Right.
because she had her son with her that day. And he gets out of the truck thinking he's all big and bad. Well, we let the littlest guy in the group go over and take him down.
Oh,
Right.
And the
yeah.
littlest guy in the
See, and
group
that,
was
me,
probably 5'2", maybe 90 pounds at the most. And this guy got his ass
right.
whipped all over
And
the
to be
highway
honest,
because of his mama's attitude.
You leaving?
Yeah.
Just be careful,
right.
please.
And to be
Later,
honest
Earl.
with you, for me, I would rather walk away and at the end of the day know that I did the better job by walking
Right?
away instead of sitting there running my mouth. Because what's that
Well,
Yeah.
really going to
this
do?
kid,
Stand
this
there and
kid
run your
thought he was
mouth.
really in the right though
Right.
because of his mama.
Right, I
So he
bet.
got out and
Yeah.
proceeded it and pushed it until we allowed one of our own to go over there and take him down. And he took him down in a very
Right.
bad manner, in a very hard way. And when it was all said and done, it was mama's fault.
Right.
Right. Hey, bye, Earl. Love ya. Be careful.
Later, bro.
Hey, he's running my grandma to the store.
I do that to my mom's boyfriend. He'll be like, "Hey, Linda, I'm going to go somewhere." And I'll be like, "Bye, Kurt. I love you. And if I'm anywhere near, I'll stand up and go, give me a hug, honey. I'll see you later." And he'll be like, "Get the hell away from me." And I'll be like, "Kurt, I love you."
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind. I like to joke around with people. I like making people's day. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
there's
I
nothing
was
wrong with
when
that.
I was yeah, when I was working, I'd get the girls that would come in and they would be having such a horrible day and they'd be like, "I'm so glad it's you, Lashawna, working because I know that at some point today you're going to make me laugh."
Right.
And
Right.
it would be no time. I would walk up and I would make some kind of joke and they'd be like, I knew it. I knew it, Lashawna. They're like, "Now you're going to have to give me a minute to
Let me
go to
ask
the
you guys
bathroom."
on your opinion
So,
about something. Bees that you know me, what you know me here, would you think I'm an easy person to work with?
I would.
yeah,
I'm not, guys. And the reason why I am very
right.
anal about how I do things, and people fuck that shit up for me, and it angers me.
No, yeah.
Not me. I have patience with people. That's the thing.
Well,
I have
it's not
patience.
patience. It's all about how I do things, and I want you to do them the same way with me, and you don't, and it just I don't know. It just goes all over me. I'm not a
Right.
teacher.
Right.
Well, that's what I was going to say. But you have to show them. Some people, you have to show them the way you want it to be done.
Right,
Yeah.
and what I'm
A
saying,
lot
I
of
have.
people, and you have some people, you can't tell them. You have to show them. For me, I want to be hands on. Don't tell
Right.
me because
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not going to
exactly that
remember
way
a dang
myself.
thing. I
Right,
have to be hands on.
Yeah.
me
So,
too. It's just an easier way to
but I
learn.
also, right, but you also have to consider someone's work history as well. I mean, have they been compliant with their other jobs? Are they willing to pick up and learn these things? Because some people
Right,
may not have been in the position you're in and they're just
right.
learning. So
Well,
being patient, teaching
sometimes
them
I
the
get
right
people
way
to come
helps.
in to help me, and they say, "Yes, I have the knowledge or the skills to do this." And then when I give them the opportunity to prove this, they cannot do it. I cannot afford to let them to continue because it's going to cost me
Not
in the
to
long run.
Well, they can't do it to your standards.
No, it's not just my standards. They can't do it at all. But yet they supposedly have all these skills. They went to school to learn this, and they don't know shit.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you
I call
something.
people like
I
that
have
today pretenders.
Right. I'm going to tell you something really weird, and I just don't get it. So me and my husband, we owned our own pet store, okay, for many, many years, and a bait shop at the same time.
Right?
I've managed a Halloween express for 8 years, and I mean complete setup from the truck drop off in the beginning to the truck pickup at the end, where you're setting it up and tearing it down. I have been a manager of many stores, supervisors. Do you know that I decided probably 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I want to go back to work. I'm ready to go back to work. I've put on weight, whatever. I thought I don't need a major job, even if I did a fast food job 20 hours a week. Just something to get out there to keep me busy, keep me occupied, keep me moving.
Right.
Do you know I filled out for White Castles and they said that I'm not even a fit for them? And
Yeah,
I'm
I've heard
like,
that
are
shit
you
before
freaking
myself.
kidding me?
Like what?
Really? I'm not a fit for because I'm not 15 years old and don't know anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that
They say
overqualified thing. What the
everybody's
hell does that even
hiring.
mean?
Do what?
The overqualified thing. What does that mean?
See, I've
I
never
don't know.
understood that
Well,
either.
now I do get that they don't want to hire somebody that's overqualified because they're
What does that
afraid they're
mean?
only there. It means that, okay, for instance, I'm going in to do a job, just house cleaning. Well, I've been a manager of other things, a supervisor. Have owned a business. I would be overqualified to freaking clean. They won't even hire me to do. I
I
thought
have
at one
two right
point
now.
it would be cool to house cleaning at a hotel. Just go in and clean rooms. You're by yourself, put headphones in, go about. It's something easy, you know? A big zero. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah,
kind of like, I was like, my husband's like, well, you need to just keep trying. And I'm like, I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that, and my daughter's like, well, I can get you a job here with me at Taco Bell. I don't want to work with my daughter. That's the
that's
thing. I
not a
don't
good
want to work
idea
with my
anyway.
daughter.
Yeah.
It's not.
I have tried
It
to work with
almost,
family. It's not an easy thing.
yeah, it almost never works
Yeah.
out.
So,
Well, family thinks that they should
yeah.
have
So,
privileges that they don't deserve.
Right.
right. Right. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So I don't know. I'm still trying, but I'm not like pushing it because it is what it is. It'll either
Yep.
come to me, or whatever. I just believe something will happen for the good at some point. I mean,
We can
Yeah.
and
all.
it's not like I really, you guys, and to be honest with you, it's not like I really need a job. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not rich. I don't have a ton of money, but we
Right.
we are good. We are fine.
Yeah.
We're not behind on bills. We don't owe
I own everything
anything.
I have, so that's all I need.
Ex-
Yep.
exactly. My bills are paid. We have food. My dogs are good. And we
Yep.
have money put back in case a situation happens.
That's
We've
the way
got
I look
that.
at it. As long as
But
you're comfortable, that's all that matters.
yeah, but mine is for my physical health. I want a job to get out there. I really need to communicate with people out, even though I don't want to. I really need to for my own communication skills and just being a people person. I'm good at it.
Right. Yeah.
That you are.
So I love people just as long as they can be decent. I don't mind. Even if they're having a bad day, I'll forgive you for that.
Yeah. Hey, we all have
Everybody
bad
has it.
days. Yes.
Yeah. Again, like I continue to say, that day, considering how long you live your life, is only a moment in time. It'll
Yep.
pass.
Yep.
Just remember to follow the right people. If not,
Yeah.
it won't get any better. You have to be around the positive people. Don't go around people who are negative when you're already being negative.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not good on your mental health or your physical health.
No, sure isn't.
So,
That's me.
with that being said,
This is
it's
for you.
2:08. You were right, John Butthead.
Ha
Hey, if it was up to
Are
me,
you
we could
sure,
stay on this
Steve?
thing all day.
ha.
I know, me too. If I didn't have other things, I would be like, guys, we're good. Let's just sit back
Yeah.
and see what's going for the day. And I
Right.
will
Well,
do that
this
some
goes.
days,
Now, will you be
you
on
know.
like later tonight?
Let me see how much I get done this evening because I'm trying to get as much done as I can, as quick as I can.
Great girl, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Hey.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. Green hearts.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, I'm trying to pass around the
But
love, damn it.
Hey,
I
sharing
no,
is
I
caring.
feel it, man.
Exactly.
I feel it. But yeah, I've got to go clean up pillow stuffing out of 1.5 rooms.
Hey,
That boxer love
And
again.
boxer love.
oh yeah, that's all they were giving me was some boxer love.
Yep.
Mom, we didn't want you to think we forgot about you. Now come and clean up my mess.
Mine are sleeping right at this moment, being good doggies.
Yeah, mine are laying
Yeah.
here. They were looking
Well,
over.
one was.
They were looking over in that direction a second ago.
Yeah, they were until I said doggy. And now they're
No, I
staring.
had somebody standing over there.
If I get a chance and I decide that I'm gonna go on this evening, big jawed boy, he's so funny. Sorry, he got distracted by his popping jaws laying back. But
Yeah, if my camera's ever on and y'all notice me just staring off, don't pay no mind to it. Because it's
yeah,
me looking at
so
I'm probably
somebody.
going to want to let you know what you're staring at.
Do what?
I
I said,
know
I'm
he's
probably going to want to know what you're staring at.
It's always a spirit. Anytime
right.
that I'm doing it, it's a spirit.
Well, hello, spirit.
I
They say
am
hi.
going to do. Okay, yeah. So
Please, girl,
let's
turn your phone
see.
sideways.
Hearts, I'm not on my
I
phone.
can,
I'm on my
I can do
my
this.
laptop.
If I turn
Bye
my phone,
till
it's
next
gonna
time.
fall, so
It's
I gotta turn me.
fun listening to you all. Thank you, Britt, and thank you so much for being here as well. Also, thank
What
you
does it
for
say? Mine's upside
participating.
down.
Throwing in comments.
It
It says
says
bye
bye
till
till
next.
next. Sorry.
Go ahead. You finish.
That's funny.
Oh, you're
It says
good.
bye till next time. It's been fun listening to you all.
Later, Bats. Or who's that,
Bye,
Britt?
Britt.
Yep.
That's Britt.
Well, later, Britt.
Britt.
Hey, my phone's upside down, guys. Sorry.
I see ya. And Linda says, see y'all later. When's the next Ghost Box session? I'm going to try to do it Thursday night. Do a Ghost Box session Thursday night. So,
Nice.
Thursday evening.
I really want to try what Mr. Pete said, though. That intrigued the hell out of me about the part of asking about yourself.
Yeah.
Are you going to try it?
Am I going to try it? I'll try it.
Me too.
Look,
I
man,
think that
I'll
would be
try
awesome.
I was going to open my mouth and say, I'll try anything once.
Yeah, watch out now.
I will try almost anything once.
There you go. That's a little better. And even though almost is leading to a lot of things.
Yeah, they say one size fits all. It should be one size fits most.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Not all.
Not all. That's
but
true.
yeah, I'm gonna try, Linda, to do Thursday night, and I am going to do. We are doing the Christmas shirts Friday night. I did say that right?
Yes.
Before, or did I say Monday?
No, you said
Friday. I got to get my calendar, and I got to start writing these days down just to remind myself.
Hey, that's me. If I don't write it down or make myself a memo, I forget.
Right. So,
but my
and what I'm
going
to start.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, my mind's constantly filled with, say, a bunch of different stuff between my thoughts and say spirits and all that stuff. I forget regular stuff all the time.
I can believe that because, man, that would be a lot to keep up with in one day.
It is. It gets overwhelming at times. It does. It gets very overwhelming.
Bet you.
You think it'd
Yes.
be easy after all
Yes.
the time, say, that I've been dealing with it, but it doesn't. It's still just as overwhelming.
Right.
Yes. Yes, Linda, please do. And let us know what you come up with, what happens. She says, I bought some Christmas bells, gonna see when my kids ain't home if spirits can get them to jingle. Great
That would be
idea.
neat.
Put one
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
that
the
is a great
cameras on
idea.
it.
Yeah,
Now, if
because
it does
spirits
Yep.
jingle,
do love
don't get scared.
manipulating. Spirits do love manipulating
Yep.
like wind times and stuff like that. So that would be same realm of this of that.
Yes,
Don't
that's
get
I do
scared if
have
it
a wind
happens,
chime
though.
that I have inside for that reason. I also
Yeah.
have a bell, just a regular crystal bell for
Right.
that reason too.
Yep.
Right, right.
So, what do you got?
And they'll use them.
But yeah, yep, they do use them.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So let's also anybody in chat that's left over there and on panel as well. Throw out some suggestions for days, guys. If you guys want a day, I can do hi Bats. Sorry guys, got a phone call from my home nurse. Who also found out my favorite boss in the world died yesterday, and I was thinking about him. What a sad
Oh,
loss. I am so sorry, Bats.
yeah,
Our
Yeah.
Bats.
condolences go out to you, them, and the
Prayers to the
family.
family.
Yes.
Yes, we will keep you in our thoughts and prayers, Bats.
Yes.
But for instance, Ashley, if you say, hey, I have a subject, I can go. So tonight's like I did for Sky, do Sky's Saturday night sightings. And if John has a subject, we can do the same thing. Or Linda, Bats, Britt, anybody. If they have a subject, they can email me, whatever. Contact me however you want.
Hey,
So,
if I did mine though, it would just fall on you'd have more days of paranormal because that's what mine would consist of. It's just more paranormal.
yeah,
I don't really have any
right.
suggestions. Just
Well, we
whatever
can do
happens,
that.
happens.
Do what?
I said I
Well,
don't
like I
really
said,
have any suggestions.
everybody has. Yep, like I said, but if anybody has any suggestions, it's there. I'll throw it out. I like the participation from others.
Right.
So
Absolutely. That's what makes all
interact
this good.
with everybody.
Yes.
Linda says I might get creeped out, but ghosties, nothing new here. See y'all later, maybe. Yes,
All right,
Linda, I'm
Linda, have
sorry I
fun.
can't say yes or no, but you know, just like everybody, I have a life outside of here, so I've kind of got to get my stuff together too. I love you
Right.
guys, and I would love to be here all the time because I would be. Dude, my
Hey, if I
butt
start
would get
missing you
so
too
big.
much, I'll just text you.
Right. My butt would get I would have to need a new couch in 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks I would need a new couch, guys.
I'm gonna need some new butt
So,
cheeks.
right?
See,
Because
and
mine get flat.
every time we do these, I have to be in my room because if I'm not in my room sitting on my bed, I will not get service.
Huh.
I wouldn't be able to do this if I
Right.
wasn't sitting in my room on my bed right now.
Right. Upside down, John.
Usually I'm sitting outside underneath my canopy with the lights on.
Right?
Yes, you are. Bat says, yeah, he was a great humanitarian. He had 10 children. Sad for them,
Wow.
especially just before Christmas. Thanks, my friends.
We're
Okay,
good. You're
Bat,
good.
that's the thing right there. This is what I'm saying. People are going through hard times right now. You may not
Yes.
know this. So doing something nice for somebody may actually change their complete outlook on the way life is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can
because
So,
actually
everybody's
turn them
always
around and
going
make
through
things better
something.
for them.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
so
everybody's always
Bats,
going through
thank
something.
you. Yeah. So Bats, also thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And we're sending out lots of love, light, and prayers. So
Yes.
Ghost Video
Sign
reacts.
language,
That
universal
would be
love.
cool.
That would
That's
be
right. Yeah. Yeah, Linda, please let me know. We'll share that. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off here now. You guys have a great
Oh,
day.
it's
You guys,
219.
Too.
hey guys, when I get everything together, I'm gonna start trying to do like almost every morning other than Wednesdays.
Okay.
That
That would be
so
awesome.
right.
Right? All right, guys. So hey, have a great Monday. I hope we were good. I hope we were able to start off everybody's Monday in a good way.
I hope
Yes.
so
So,
too. Oh, and Crazy Girl.
yep.
It's 219.
Yeah, I know it's 2:20 now. Thank you.
Yep. I was fixing to say it's 220.
Yep.
And
So,
who
and
was right?
Bats, we love you
Say
too,
it again.
honey. Take it easy. Take it easy today, and get some
Ain't that weird looking?
rest, honey. Just everything will be okay.
Yes.
That is matrixing. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm gonna get off here. He should be here in about 10 minutes, and he's gonna be like, "So what you been doing other than dishes, made the bed, cleaned up dog mess?" I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna fake it. I'm gonna put a YouTube movie on and be like, "Man, I've been watching YouTube movies." He'll get on his YouTube and he'll be like, "No, you weren't. You were on this morning. That's what you've been doing."
Uh-huh.
No,
He's
this is a
probably
figment of
watching
his
right now.
imagination.
He's
I say
watching right
it's just
now.
a replay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you guys know.
Hey, in case he
What Earl
checks, in
say?
case he
What Earl
checks on you,
say?
crazy girl, it's actually Sunday. This is Sunday's
Hey,
live. It's not
well,
Monday at all.
right.
No.
He'll be like, "Didn't you see that?" You know what? Actually, I think I hear his truck already.
Uh-oh.
Oh well,
See
it
ya.
happens. I don't mind. He's just gonna walk in and laugh at me. That's what he's gonna. He's gonna shake his head and laugh at me, be like,
Or throw a toilet paper roll at you.
or he'll be like this. That means get
Mhm.
in here and let's get through it now.
Yeah.
Snap that
Mhm.
finger and do that look.
That's funny.
See, Earl will not snap his finger at me. He knows better. He snaps his finger at me, I will break it.
He's the only one allowed to do that. After 18
Yeah.
years, he's the only one allowed to do that.
Right?
Hilarious.
Right?
I'm gonna tell on you. I'm
So,
telling on you.
but I'm gonna get off here. That's fine. You can tell. I'll tell on myself by the end of the day. Gosh dang it. I will. I always do.
Well, now you're just taking all the fun from me.
I always tell people, look, man, I need no help getting in trouble. I do a very good job on my own. Thank you.
Me
Same.
too. Dang it.
Yep.
Cannot help it for some reason.
Try and put my shoes on too. So, okay, guys, I am going to get off here now.
Okay.
I will,
Bye.
I will talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye, everybody. Bye, Ashley.
Bye.